on new training grounds, on new leader, on new defense. Tonight, the first test. The Lions battled top-rated linebacker Ray Lewis in Baltimore when they stared down the Ravens.
Welcome to Raven Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, where tonight the Detroit Lions will open the 2002 preseason. And hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Miller, joined in the booth by former Lions All-Pro linebacker Chris Spielman. And simply put, tonight the Lions hope to begin to answer some of the many questions that face this football team. And Chris, let's start at quarterback. They used the number 3 pick overall to take Joey Harrington. We'll see him probably in the second half tonight. But Mike McMahon gets the start. He is the starter. The job is his. He's just got to keep it.
Well, rightfully so. And make no mistake, Mike McMahon has earned the job as a starter. And the one thing that Mike McMahon brings to the table is he has great feet. He's a double threat. He can hurt you throwing the football, and he can hurt you running the football. He's a great competitor. He thinks it's his job, and nobody's taking it. And I love that in the attitude of a quarterback. Now, Joey Harrington, the number 3 overall, calm, composed, way beyond his years, pinpoint accuracy as far as throwing the football, knows the offense is picking it up, and when you're number 3 draft choice overall, you are the future of the team.
And we'll see those two quarterbacks. We'll also see Ty Detmer tonight. Let's talk defense. New coordinator Kurt Schottenheimer. A lot of new faces. They believe they've upgraded at safety, but there are questions at the corner.
Well, they did upgrade at safety, and you need your safeties. It's an important job on Kurt Schottenheimer's defense. Why? Because they're involved in the run defense. Also, they make all the calls. They're the quarterback of the secondary. Front 7 is good. Now, the 2 new corners, who knows who they're going to be? In fact, let's go to an NFL cornerback. Used to play for the Lions, used to play for the Ravens, Robert Bailey.
Well, a lot of questions have been asked about the secondary, and Matt Millen and Coach Marnoway answered those questions by bringing in the most experienced secondary in the NFL. 3 out of 4 guys have won Super Bowls in Todd Light, Eric Davidson, and Corey Harris. The 4th guy, Brian Walker, number 1 defense last year with the Miami Dolphins. I don't think this group is going to have a problem. They're going to take that experience and bring it right over to the younger guys and the rest of the team.
All right, Robert Bailey down on the sidelines. Jennifer Hammond will be along as well. So too will the kickoff. That's coming up next. The preseason's about to begin. Come right back with us.
Detroit Lions football is brought to you by your 31 Metro Detroit Ford dealers. Check out the current offers at the Metro Detroit Ford Dealers website, www.forddirect.com. By America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's number 1. By Comerica Bank, we listen, we understand, we make it work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. By Ford Motor Company, Ford, no boundaries. And by National City Bank and its 30,000 employees who care about doing what's right for you.
Back at Raven Stadium in Baltimore, look at Lions head coach Marty Mornhinweg in his 2nd season. Last year, of course, 2-14, but Marty would rather point out the fact that the Lions were 2-2 in their last 4. He is still very confident about what this team can do, Chris.
Well, that's one thing I like about Marty. He believes in this system, and he has 2 young quarterbacks to train. Now, Dan, that's something that Marty's very good at. He can develop quarterbacks. He has 2 good ones to work with, which bodes right for the future for the Detroit Lions and their offense. It's a fine system. 2nd year, they should be better at running it.
And the Lions will try to run that system right off the bat tonight because they have won the toss and they are set to receive. And set to kick it off right there for the Baltimore Ravens, J.R. Jenkins. And back for the Lions, number 87, Larry Foster. Desmond Howard will not play tonight. Nothing serious. Lions just protecting Desmond a little bit. But Larry Foster with a chance, and he has shown in the past that he can certainly return kicks. So we're getting set for some football here in Baltimore, where they don't know what to expect from this football team this year. Many questions about the Lions, many questions about the Ravens that we will talk about throughout this broadcast tonight. But we're ready for some football. The players are ready. We hope you're ready. Sit back and enjoy. The preseason's about to get underway right here.
One thing, if you're Detroit, Danny, you want to get off to a fast start, especially offensively. That's where some of your experience is, to get Mike McMahon on a roll.
Jenkins set to go, puts his foot into it. It's going to be Foster 4 yards deep in his end zone. He'll bring it out. Foster back to the 10, to the 15, out to the 20. Gets to about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Lions are set to take over. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. For the Lions, Mike McMahon will be the quarterback. James Stewart will be in there at least early at running back, along with Schlesinger, Scotty Anderson, Bill Schrader, and Michael Ricks. Round out the skill positions for the Lions. Up front, Roger Semple, Beverly Stye, and McDougal. So the Lions take over 1st and 10 from their own 21. First possession of this game. James Stewart, the back, deep behind Mike McMahon. Corey Schlesinger in front of him. McMahon's going to throw on 1st down. Gets it out to Bill Schrader. Schrader out to about the 28, 29-yard line. Finally ridden out of bounds. Take a look at the Ravens starting defense. Marquess Douglas, along with Gregg, Thomas, Hartwell, Lewis, and Taylor. Behind those guys in the Ravens defense tonight, Trapp, McAllister, Mitchell, and Chad Williams. Overall, 7 defensive starters from a year ago in Baltimore. Not with this team. Cap casualties all over the place. They had big problems in the salary cap, and that resulted in them losing a lot of players. On 2nd down, it's Stewart who gets the call. Stewart tries the middle of that line. Not much there. Ed Hartwell coming up to make the stop. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, I like the call on 1st down. Marty comes out, throws the ball, gets Mike McMahon some confidence. It was an easy read for Michael. They were in a 3 deep, the Ravens. He looked to see where the safety was, saw the corner playing off, delivered the football, come back with the draw to get James Stewart involved in the running game. Big 3rd down for the Lions here.
3rd down and 2. 3rd down and 2. Lamont Warren comes in behind Mike McMahon. 3 receivers in the game. McMahon back to pass, has time, throws out, looking on the right side for Schrader. He's covered there, incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Lions will have to kick it away. Chad Williams in coverage for the Ravens.
And Chad Williams does a nice job of using his body kind of like a basketball player, boxing out for a rebound. His rear end was his friend. He was giving Bill Schrader the rear end there, prevented Schrader from getting downfield.
Chris McAllister back deep for Baltimore. John Jett set to punt it away for Detroit. Early in the 1st quarter here, scoreless at Raven Stadium. Jett puts his foot into it. Flag down. McAllister takes it at about the 36, gets up to the 40, the 42 before he's taken out of bounds. 35-yard punt, 5-yard return, but let's wait. There's a penalty down. As the Lions defense comes out on the field, up front some familiar names in Porsche and Ellis and Pritchett as well. James Hall out of Michigan gets the start at right end tonight. Linebackers Green, Claiborne, and Krewald. In the secondary, and we've already talked a lot about Eric Davis and Todd Light, 2 very experienced corners. Corey Harris and Brian Walker, new safeties for Detroit as well.
Take a look at this defense and watch Chris Claiborne. He's a guy that needs to step up and be a leader from that middle linebacker position. Performed well last year when thrown into it. Now he's really got to take his game to the next level. Luther Ellis will be a key to that. A healthy Luther Ellis means a healthy Lions run defense.
Referee Terry McCauley trying to sort this out. There was a flag on the punt return. The Ravens will take over. Just a question of where at this point. So as they sort this out, one thing to talk about for this Ravens offense, Chris, would be their quarterback, Chris Redmond's only thrown 3 passes in 2 years in the NFL. They don't know what to expect from him, but right now he is their starter. Jeff Blake's the backup, but they've said there's no competition there. Redmond is the guy.
Well, you know what? One thing Chris Redmond has to do, he has to come out and establish that he's the guy. And reading in the papers today,
Mr. Klein, holding during the return on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
they want to see him establish some on-field presence and get some confidence in him. And that's a smart move by Billick, though, to bring a veteran in like Jeff Blake to not only be a competitor to Redmond, but also to tutor Redmond.
Well, Terry McCauley's done the accounting work as far as the penalties go. Bottom line is the Ravens will take over. Once they figure out where they're going, McCauley's walked past the 40, now back to the 35, back to the 32. And apparently they flipped a coin, and Baltimore will start right there.
Hey, it's their first game too now, Dan.
By you.
Yeah, it's their first game. They're not working NFL Europe or anything.
Marty's looking for an explanation, I think. Chris Redmond set to go. Tellis Redmond behind him. Tellis Redmond will play most of the first half. Jamal Lewis not yet ready to go, although they do expect him to be ready to go for the regular season. That's good news for the Ravens. 1st and 10, and Redmond's going to pass right away. Looks right, nobody there. Luther Ellis giving chase. Redmond's going to keep it. Gets to about the 35, gain of 3, and Luther finally takes him down. Let's take a look at that Ravens offense. As we said, Chris Redmond is the quarterback. Tellis Redmond at one of the running back spots. Alan Ricard, Brandon Stokely, Travis Taylor, and Todd Heap, and up front protecting those guys. Ravens offensive line led by Jonathan Ogden. We got to look at him before the game, Chris. He just seems to go on forever. That is a big man. He's a big man, and he hits like a big man. Believe me, I ran into the big 75 a couple of times. I might as well run in the side of this stadium. 2nd down and 7 now. Stokely in motion. Redmond back to pass again. Luther Ellis hits him, and down he goes, and incomplete is the pass. He was out there looking for Stokely. Nice coverage by the Lions' Brian Walker, but the pressure was being applied by Robert Porcher. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. That's good to see Robert do what he does best, and that's rush the quarterback. Robert pinned his ears back. He's reading the set of the offensive lineman. You see him doing a good job of slap his hands and come with a swim over top and finish the play. You want hits on the quarterback? Robert got a hit on a quarterback right there. I think what veterans want on a night like this is a short night, so you go in there, you give a burst, and there it goes. Well, you know, I think so, Danny, but I think you want to get your timing down, and it's important to get your pass rush down. Timing looked good right there. 3rd down 7 now. Lions looking for a stop. Redmond's going to go from the shotgun. Doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to call a timeout. Now, I would imagine, Chris, that's one of the things that you get with a young quarterback. Not only is he feeling his way before, when the ball is snapped, but also before, trying to get everybody in position. Yeah, well, the Lions did a good job disguising the coverage there, because in the first 2 downs, they came out and played man-to-man defense. And people, there was a question about corner. I watched the corners on the first 2 plays. They both matched up well and covered. Now they come out and they show like they're running a blitz, forcing Redmond to make an adjustment. All right, on 3rd and 7, we're going to take a break. Timeout here on the field. Scoreless in Baltimore. We'll be right back. Back at Ravens Stadium, 12:40 to go in the first quarter. Lions and Ravens scoreless. Ravens with the football, facing a 3rd down and 7 on their first possession of the evening. Lions with 6 defensive backs in the game. Ravens counter with 3 receivers. And a tight end in Todd Heap. And Redmond wants to throw. Pressure comes, steps up, has time, throws out there. It's complete. Good enough for a 1st down. Gain of 14 on the play. Eric Davis finally making the stop for Detroit, but not before they move the chains. Let's see right here. It's not bad coverage. He has a lot of time to throw, and if you're playing the man-to-man like Eric Davis is up top, the offensive line for the Ravens does a good job against a 4-man rush. Not bad coverage. Too much time to throw, and a good receiver is going to get open with that kind of time. Travis Taylor did right there. 1st down and 10 for the Ravens as they approach midfield. The give right up the middle is to Redmond. Redmond out across the 50. Stopped by Barrett Green. It'll bring up 2nd down, about 9. Maybe 2nd and 8. Give him 2 on that play. One way to take away the run, Dan, is get penetration up front. Kelvin Pritchett did a good job of getting an initial burst up front, and Barrett Green attacking downhill. That's what I like to see out of linebackers. 2nd down 7 now. Tellis Redmond, the lone back behind Chris Redmond. That's Heap in motion. It's Redmond to Redmond. And there's some room there. Down to the 45. Flag on the play after a pickup of 4. We'll wait and see how they sort this one out. Again, it's going to be against the Ravens. They get Jonathan Ogden, big 75. Kelvin Pritchett. I'll tell you, I played with Kelvin Pritchett. An excellent football player. One thing he does well, he doesn't run fast for long distances, but he gets off the ball and gets penetration.
Holding. Offense, number 75.
Yeah, there you go.
10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Jonathan Ogden called for holding there. I knew it was on him because he kicked the flag. Take a look at this one on replay, Chris. And you'll see Kelvin Pritchett again get penetration. Knocks Jonathan Ogden back. Jonathan was there tackling. Getting the leg. I'll give him credit. Last resort for an offensive lineman. Hey, get your block any way you can. I have no problem with that. You're going to get caught sometimes. You're going to get away with it sometimes. Rarely on a running play will you be called for holding in the NFL. Believe me. 2nd down and 19 now for the Ravens from their own 39. Yeah, big screen down, Danny. Big screen and draw down. Once again, Redmond behind Redmond, 2 receivers to the right side. Deep in motion to the far side of the field. Redmond stops and throws. That's Heap near midfield. Finally stopped there, but not before a big gain for the Ravens. They pick up 13 on the play. They're not saying cheap, they're saying Heap after Todd Heap picks up the big yardage.
He's a former #1 draft pick, and with the departure of Shannon Sharp back to Denver, he's a major player in this offense. And knowing Brian Billick, he loves to use tight ends. What you'll have is a double crosser. It's a crosser between the tight end and the running back. And Todd Heap, the one thing he can do, that's it. Put the lower shoulder down there. But good job of tackling by Davis. Taking on the big man.
Eric Davis coming up to make the stop. 3rd down and 6 now. Baltimore in Detroit territory at the 47. Redmond from the shotgun. Looks, throws out there. It's complete, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Alan Ricard making the reception. Matter of fact, they'll lose one, and Baltimore's going to have to kick it away. Nice play out there by Jeff Guchin on coverage for Detroit.
Yeah, Jeff Gooch did a good job in man-to-man coverage on the back out of the backfield. That's how you make a football team, Jeff Gooch. Special teams, and you can become the dime linebacker. Good job, Jeffrey.
The Lions will certainly hope their linebacking core will improve when Brian Williams is able to play. He's one of 6 players right now on the physically unable to perform list, and Brian Williams a possible starter for this team. Larry Foster back deep. Baltimore in punt formation. Lions are going to get it back here. There's a whistle. Play clock down to 0. That might be too much time. In fact, it is.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Baltimore might be very comfortable with that. Gives them a little more room to operate.
Yeah, they were in no hurry to get that snap off. And, you know, Dan, it's a good start by Kurt Schottenheimer and the defense. A lot of questions coming in. First-year coach, a lot of new players. They came in, took away the run, did a nice job in pass coverage. It's a way to get the fight started.
Each team with a stop in this game so far. Lions about to get it back. 9:21 to go. 9:20 to go here in the first quarter. Punts away, and it's Foster calling for a fair catch at about the 16. He'll take it right there. That's where the Lions will take over. 37 yards on the punt. We're going to take a timeout with the game scoreless. We are zip here in Baltimore. Come right back with us. You want to do it when they're on defense? All right, we're back at Ravens Stadium. Lions and Ravens scoreless here in the first quarter. 9:12 to go. Each team with a stop so far. Detroit's first possession, they went 3 and out. They'll try to get something going here. Mike McMahon got to start at quarterback. We do expect to see Joey Harrington probably in the second half, and also for Ty Detmer to get a couple of series here in this game. James Stewart is the running back. Corey Schlesinger right next to him, and that's Stewart in motion behind McMahon. On first down, it's Schlesinger who gets the call straight up the middle. Ray Lewis there to meet him. Stop at the 20. How many times has that been said over the past couple of years? Seems like year after year, Ray Lewis leads the NFL in tackles.
Ray Lewis is a fine middle linebacker. Now he's got to make a little bit of adjustment, Dan. They're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and he no longer has Big Goose or Sam Adams in front of him. That time he did a good job avoiding Tony Semple, getting off the block and making a play, but look where he made it. He made it 4 yards downfield as opposed at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 6, 3 receivers in the game for the Lions. Also running back James Stewart in motion right there. McMahon back to pass, got to run, gets away from the pressure and throws it away. Shannon Taylor was coming after him. Flag down on the play. And that's going to be against the Lions. So Mike McMahon was feeling the heat right there, and one thing he can do when he feels the heat is get out and move.
That is a weapon that he has, and it's something that is conducive to the West Coast offense.
Penalty declined. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. We'll take another look.
Right there, you see nothing downfield, but does have the ability and the wherewithal to get rid of the football and not take the sack. Last year he might have taken the sack. Now he knows this. Hey, let me heave it out of bounds. I'm a smart quarterback now. I've got 3 games under my belt. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've been around this place for a while. Mike McMahon still learning on the job, no doubt about that. He's going to have to put up with a pretty loud crowd in Baltimore right here on 3rd down and 6. And McMahon's going to take a timeout.
We were a little late getting the play in right there. Michael, recognizing the awareness of the clock, made a good decision.
All right, and that decision still going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. We'll see how the Lions do when we come back to Raven Stadium right after this. Right back at Ravens Stadium, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. Lions and Ravens scoreless. Lions with it. Their own 20-yard line, facing a 3rd down and 6. Scotty Anderson, Larry Foster, Bill Schrader, the wide receivers, Lamont Warren and Corey Schlesinger behind Mike McMahon. You know the Ravens are coming here. McMahon straight drop, throws over the middle, looking out there for Schrader, knocked away. Nice defensive play in there by Chad Williams. It'll bring up 4th down. Lions so far 2 possessions, 2 times 3 and out.
Good defensive play by Williams. Great read on the quarterback. And one thing I want Mike McMahon to do is start looking off a little bit to hopefully keep that safety from making a great jump on the football, then deliver the football to his secondary receiver.
John Jett back into punt for Detroit. Lamont Brightful back deep for Baltimore. First punt of the night went 35 for Jett. Gets this one to turn over for him. Brightful all the way back to the 28-yard line. Brightful back to the 35 to the 40. Finally taken down there. 52-yard punt, 14-yard return. Jeff Gooch making the special teams stop for Detroit. Now we have a question for you this evening. It's our AOL Lions Online. Which offseason acquisition will prove most beneficial to the Lions? Log on to www.detroitlions.com to vote. I'd like to know what you have to say tonight.
There's a lot of choices.
Yes, there were. There's no question about that. And we're taking a look at quite a few of them this evening. 1st and 10 Ravens at their own 42. Good field position. Tellis Redmond alone set back behind Chris Redmond, and he has the delay, takes it. Not much there. Might have lost a yard. Eric Davis coming up to make the stop. It's going to bring up 2nd down now and 11.
You like to see your corners get that good run support, but who made the play? Middle linebacker Chris Claiborne was on the blitz, got penetration into the backfield, forced Tellis Redmond to stop and restart. Pursuit of the defense will catch you every time.
Went Krewald in there as well, and this is a nice opportunity for Krewald. Got the start tonight, getting some playing time and a chance to show this coaching staff what he can do out there. 2nd down and 11. Stokely in motion. Fake the reverse. It's Tellis Redmond who has it. Redmond straight ahead across midfield down to the 48-yard line. Andre Goodman coming up to make the stop. Not before the Ravens come up with a big gain, 10 yards, and bring up 3rd down and 1.
The rookie shows great patience here. They run in, show the fake reverse. You have to honor it. Tellis Redmond give a little shake and bake. Did a nice job getting downfield and shoulders. You see Chris Claiborne there getting tackled a little bit. Like I said before, though, it's very, very difficult. You don't see holding called on running plays very often in the NFL, especially inside runs like that one.
They're going to give him the forward progress. 11-yard gain. 1st down now for the Ravens in Lions territory. This time fake to Redmond. Chris Redmond wants to go deep. Robert Porcher chasing after him. Can't get him. Redmond's still alive on the play and throws it away. So the Lions came with great pressure, but Redmond was able to get out of it through the incompletion, basically threw it away. Saved a big loss, and the Ravens will have it 2nd and 10.
Well, 2 things. You want to finish, and Robert wants to finish. Sacks are hard to come by. Does a great job of beating his man one-on-one.
There's no camera.
Again. And you see Chris Redmond, what he brings is strength. I guess the in-the-grass rule doesn't count during preseason.
As we look at this play on 2nd down and 10, let's swing it down to the field for some thoughts from Robert Bailey. Robert.
Schottenheimer has put in a very simple defense. It's a 4-3 defense. It allows guys to play ball without thinking too much. On instinct. A lot of guys call it on the defense, see ball, get ball.
All right, Robert, thank you very much. Kurt Schottenheimer, the Lions' new defensive coordinator. Todd Light out there in coverage on 2nd down. Looked like Chris Redmond and his receiver were on a different page there. Incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Redmond so far 3 out of 6 for 25 yards.
So far we've seen pressure from Robert Porcher, Kelvin Pritchett, Luther Ellis. That time we came with the safety blitz. We saw Corey Harris bring the pressure. You like to see that variety from Kurt Schottenheimer as far as the blitz package goes.
A couple of young men hailing from Detroit in the game for Baltimore. Javen Hunter. And also Ron Johnson on 3rd down and 10. Redmond back looking for heat. overthrows him down the middle of the field. He had him out there. He had beaten Jeff Gooch in coverage. There was some help coming from the deep safety, but there was an opening there, and Redmond overthrew him by just a bit.
He did overthrow him because he was forced to throw the ball early. Why was he forced to throw the ball early? Because Robert Porcher, again, 11 years in the league, getting a big paw in his face, making him deliver off the back foot, throwing that high football.
Once again, the Ravens will have to punt it away, and we'll certainly talk more about Javen Hunter and Ron Johnson. A couple of kids trying to make this team in Baltimore. Punt is away. Larry Foster back there calls for a fair catch, lets it bounce around the 6. It goes into the end zone, but way back upfield. There's a penalty down, 48-yard punt, but once again, we're going to have to sort this thing out. Anthony Mitchell had a chance at it down at the goal line, but couldn't quite hang on to the football. It's going to be offsides against Detroit. And I would have to think Baltimore's going to punt this one again and try to pin the Lions back deep in their own territory.
Really a mistake by Anthony Williams. He's supposed to run around the fair catch, go to the goal line, and prevent the ball from going into the goal line. Had a chance to make a big special teams play.
Offside. Defense, number 44, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
There's the call from Terry McCauley, so Dave Zastudil will get another chance. And once again, Larry Foster goes back deep. Marty Morningway can't be happy about that. If there's one thing coaches don't like, it's giving the other teams constant opportunities and extra opportunities to beat them.
Here's something you don't see very often, Dan. You got a big linebacker right out there playing the gunner position. That's tough on Wyrick now. He's got 255 pounds coming on him, and Wyrick's running in there about 170. Let's see how he does.
I don't think Larry Foster knows where he's coming from as well. Foster's lined up at about his own 10-yard line. Zastudil tries to punt it away, finally gets a hold of it and gets rid of it. Ball bounces at the 11. And the Ravens are in great position to pin the Lions right down at the 1-yard line. Mike McMahon is really going to be backed up here.
No, Dan, it's coming back because anytime there's a bobbled snap, what happens is the punt team releases on timing. So when there's a bobbled snap, you have illegal men downfield. Look at the big fella there. He's saying that this is the 3rd time I run. Here you got a bobbled snap, drops a football. He's a punter. He can't help it. But what happens there is now the protection team is going to release early downfield because they're counting on the kick to be off because it's a timing play. They don't know that the guy bobbled the snap. Thus, again, a special teams error by the Baltimore Ravens and a break for the Lions.
Well, this looks a little bit like an opening preseason game. Everybody trying to get their sea legs. And once again, Baltimore's going to have to punt it away. Once again, Larry Foster goes deep, but as you said, those gunners might be getting a little tired out there.
Yeah, I'd be getting tired, especially if I was J.R. Johnson, about 242 pounds. See, they took him out.
They took him out.
The big fella's tired.
Javen Hunter out of Detroit Country Day has come in, bottom of your screen.
Jimmy Wyrick's happy. Man, I ain't got to hit that big fella anymore.
So once again, Zastudil to punt it away. This time he gets it away. No flags so far. Larry Foster runs over to the 15, makes the catch. Foster to the 20, 25, doubles back, gets to the 30 and out to the 32-yard line. 33-yard punt, 18-yard return. So after all that, the Lions get pretty good field position at about their own 33. We'll take a break. We are still scoreless in Baltimore. We're coming right back. Stay with us. In stadium, Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. We're scoreless in the first quarter, rather slow-moving first quarter. 6 minutes and 6 seconds to go so far, and a lot of penalties in this one so far. Both teams kind of rusty, but you would expect that in the opening preseason game. Mike McMahon with a chance to get the Lions going here. Corey Schlesinger and James Stewart behind him. Anderson and Schrader are the receivers. That's Stewart in motion. And the throw out to Stewart. Hits him, but he couldn't hang on. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Mike McMahon, of course, became the starter late last year when Charlie Batch was injured. The job is his right now, and we talked to him about the difference a year can make.
This year, I feel so much more relaxed after getting, some game time reps from last season. Spending the whole off season here, just learning the offense, and just feeling so much more comfortable that it's just like second nature now, going out in the field and having fun with it.
Mike McMahon on 2nd down and 10. Lamont Warren is the deep back behind him, and Warren gets the call. Tries the middle of the field, moves the pack, gets maybe 3. Kelly Craig wraps him up and makes the stop. It's going to bring it down 3rd down and long for Detroit.
tough to be successful as a quarterback in this league if you're facing 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 all day. What the Lions have to do, not only tonight, but throughout preseason and the start of the regular season, they got to win 1st and 2nd down to put them in a position to succeed on 3rd down to control the football.
Well, on 3rd down and 8 here, the Lions have 3 receivers, Anderson and Schrader to the near side, Kevin McKenzie to the far. Lamont Warren the lone setback. McMahon straight drop, looks left, throws out there, looking for Anderson. It's going to be picked off. Picked off by Alvin Porter, and Baltimore's going to take over at their own 41-yard line. First turnover of the night, and it goes Baltimore's way.
Actually, it was a good read by Mike McMahon, but the thing you have to do is Scotty Anderson had the 2 deep coverage beat. The safety was late over the top. He's got to put air on the football.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Baltimore's got it after the interception. We're scoreless here at Ravens Stadium.
Mike McMahon does a nice job right here, and you'll see he has the guy open because the safety's sitting on the inside of the receiver. Now, when you throw this ball, you see Scotty Anderson has the corner beat, but you have to put air on the football in that type of situation. He doesn't get air on it, thus interception.
Baltimore gets the turnover, and on 1st down, Redmond throws it incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Ravens. They're at their own 41-yard line. Kalimba Edwards might have tipped that one at the line of scrimmage. I want to remind you, it's not too late to get season tickets. Club seats are available on a limited basis. Call 313-262-2002 to order your seats today. Prices start at $1,550. You want to be a part of Ford Field? Dial that number. 2nd down and 10 for the Ravens now. Redmond, the deep back behind Redmond. Redmond. This time it's Chris Redmond, the quarterback, who wants to throw. Gets it out to Tellis Redmond in the flat. Out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 6. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Clint Krewald out there making the tackle.
And when you're in zone defense, you'll give that up all day. And Clint Krewald does a nice job of making an open field tackle. What he did really well, though, Dan, was he broke on the football and came up and made a sure stop.
Take another look here. You see Redmond out there in the flat. Krewald closing in.
Close the gate in front of the ball, young man. He did a good job of getting him down and making the initial contact. Wrap your arms on. I want to see those arms wrapped.
3rd down and 4 from their own 47. Ravens with it, scoreless here in Baltimore. Stokely in motion, looking his way, and he's got Stokely out there across midfield to the 45 to the 43. 1st down, Todd Light in coverage, forces him out of bounds. Not before the Ravens can pick up 12 and a 1st.
Good read by Chris Redmond right there. You saw Todd Light playing a little loose coverage. What you want to do is tighten up that coverage in 3rd and 4. And Chris Redmond, make no mistake, he knows. Look at his eyes. His eyes are looking right over there at Stokely. Stokely runs a nice route. Todd Light just a little loose.
1st down and 10 now. Ravens once again moving into Lions territory. And once again, it's Stokely in motion, but it's Redmond who gets the call. Finds some room up the middle of the field across the 40 down to the 37. Gets the 36. Eric Davis makes the stop. Pickup of 6 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
It's good patience by Tellis Redmond. And vision, that's the biggest thing you need to teach a rookie running back, is to be patient, let those holes develop. Tellis is getting in the flow.
Javen Hunter and Ron Johnson to the near side of the field. 2nd down for the Ravens. Redmond again gives to Redmond. Moves down across the 35, maybe to the 34. Close to a 1st down. Looks like it'll be just short. 3rd down and 1 coming up. Chris Claiborne making the stop from his middle linebacker position.
Starting to establish the line of scrimmage a little bit. And when you play a one-gap defense like the Lions are playing, there's an unblocked player. The unblocked player is usually on the cutback side, right into Tellis Redmond. Corey Harris is coming in there, and Claiborne's coming in there. Corey Harris is the unblocked player. He's got to come up and make contact a little bit sooner. 2
tight ends in for the Ravens, Todd Heap and John Jones. Redmond the deep back. 3rd down, very short. Redmond gets the call, cuts back to the middle of the field. He's got room, and he's got the 1st down. They'll move the chains as he gets down to about the 31-yard line.
He had a good push by the Ravens offensive line. You see Tellis Redmond coming here. Now again, patience and cutting back. You have a chance, you got to fill those gaps. Take the cutback away. That's gap responsibility football. Right now, the Raven offensive line is exploiting that one gap defense of the Lions.
Tellus Redmond so far tonight, 6 carries, 26 yards, and he's in there once again. Only this time it's Chris Redmond who's going to go from the shotgun on 1st down and 10. Best field position for either team of the night. They're at the Lions 30. Redmond looking deep, throwing out there. It's going to be picked off by Brian Walker. Walker got it at the 5, back to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. He's got blockers in front of him across midfield. Walker finally steps out of bounds, and a huge play for the Lions. Forced out by Edwin Mulatalo, but not before a 51-yard interception return.
It's a great job by Walker playing center field back there in the 2 deep coverage because the corner was beat on the out and up. Now we saw Mike McMahon try to throw a bullet. That time Chris Redmond tried to lob it too much. He should have threw the bullet. He and McMahon need to switch passes.
As you watch the replay, I want to remind you that Buddy's Pizza, Detroit's #1 square deep dish pizza for over 55 years, will once again team with Detroit Lions charities to help feed the needy during the 2002 season. For every turnover like that one the Lions forced during each preseason and regular season game, Buddy's will donate 10 pizzas to the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. On 1st down, it's McMahon out over the middle. He's got Michael Ricks inside the 30, down to the 22-yard line. Big pickup for the Lions. It'll be another 1st down, 22 yards on the play. Chad Williams coming up to make the stop for Baltimore.
It's a nice job by Michael Ricks getting behind the linebackers, and Mike McMahon delivering the strike. Now that time he needed to throw the bullet. He did. He got in behind the linebacker. Linebacker's got to wall him off. He didn't do a good job. Michael Ricks finds a seam. Mike McMahon sees a seam and hits it.
Biggest offensive gain of the night. Corey Schlesinger, the lone back behind McMahon this time, and he's going to throw. Looking for Schrader, pumps, nobody there. Ball batted up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. Nice coverage by Bart Scott out of Southeastern High School of Detroit, trying to make this Ravens team.
It's a good job by Mike. Now he's going to make a decision right here. He does a good job of not throwing his football. Schrader was double covered on the pump and go. Now he goes, where's my #2 receiver? But he didn't know his #2 receiver was going to have 2 guys on him. That one you might want to throw into one of those big behinds in front of you. There's a lot of big behinds to choose from. Hit one of them.
Scotty Anderson in motion on 2nd down. It's Stewart who gets the call to the right side, bangs his way inside the 20 down to about the 17. Stop on the play by Bart Scott. 5-yard gain, 3rd down and 5 coming up.
And the offense for them to be successful this year, that guy right there, James Stewart, needs to have a big year. Talking to Marty last night, he's expecting 12 to 1,400 yards out of James this year from running the football.
James will stay in the game on 3rd down along with Corey Schlesinger. Schrader and Anderson, the receivers to the right side. Crowd making some noise. McMahon back to pass. Pressure comes, has to roll out, throws to Schlesinger. Nowhere for him to go. He'll lose 5 or 6, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Nice play by Kelly Craig, who sniffed that out and stopped it right away. Lions lose 6 on the play.
Yeah, that's a great play by Kelly Craig. If you have a defense lineman that can sniff a screen out, that's a benefit. Now, what I would do if I was Mike McMahon, instead of giving the ball to Corey Schlesinger, thus seeing that the screen is taken away, throw it at his feet. Throw it at his feet. That way you'll not lose yardage, and thus also you will not have a chance for a turnover if Corey gets knocked or the ball gets knocked loose.
Lions are going to let the clock wind down into the 1st quarter. 3 zeros on the clock and 2 zeros next to the team's names. We are scoreless here in Baltimore, but when we come back, Jason Hanson will try to put the Lions on the board. We'll see how he does when we return. Right back here in Baltimore, scoreless, Lions and Ravens. I want to remind you, you can meet the Detroit Lions at the 6th annual kickoff luncheon Friday, August 16th at Burton Manor in Livonia. Special guests will be the NFL's Roger Goodell, head coach Marty Morningwig, Mike Utley, and Al Bubba Baker. The 2002 Detroit Lions will also be there. Proceeds go to Detroit Lions charities to benefit Detroit Pal Football. That's the Lions kickoff luncheon, August 16th. For tickets, call 313-963-8547. It's going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt here for Jason Hanson, trying to put the Lions on the board, stake them out to a 3-0 lead. Spot down, kick up by Jason Hanson, long enough and right down the middle. So the Lions jump up by a score of 3-0 here. First points of this game And they come after the turnover. Brian Walker with the big interception. The drive, 4 plays, 19 yards, 1 minute and 50 seconds, as we said, a 42-yard field goal.
Tell you, points off turnovers, especially took Baltimore out of field position. Walker did a nice job of turning into a running back and really almost took it the distance, Dan. And it looked like the Ravens offense kind of relaxed. Walker did a nice job of putting offense in great field position. Then, of course, Jason Hanson, soon to be record holder for the Detroit Lions, nailed it.
Well, a lot of changes in that defense. Brian Walker, one of the new faces. 5 projected starters from last year's team, Chris, no longer in football. Tracy Scroggins, Stephen Boyd, Alan Aldridge, Ron Rice, and Kurt Schultz. A lot of changes.
Well, that's an amazing statistic. You can take a look at Tracy Scroggins, what he can do as a pass rush. Obviously, Stephen Boyd, the heart and soul of that defense. Alan Aldridge, the starting linebacker. These guys weren't just players. They're starters. No longer in football. That's unprecedented.
And certainly injuries ending the careers of Stephen Boyd and most likely Ron Rice, and certainly we wish those guys well. We hope they're watching in tonight. Those guys still good Lions, no doubt about that. Those guys were always good community guys and team guys.
Well, I taught him well, Dan.
Oh, there you go. And I think Stephen Boyd would be the first to say that. I really do. Kickoff right there by Jason Hanson. Ravens are going to get a chance to get it back at their own 5 to the 10 to the 15, out to the 20. Some open field. Nice play by Jimmy Wyrick to force him out of bounds.
No.
That's when Baltimore will take over, and the flag comes in. They're going to say late hit. Rance Clemens came in there maybe a little bit too late after a 20-yard return.
He was all right. These guys, he's getting a little excited there. He wanted to throw the flag.
Well, they got to work out their arms as well.
Yeah. That's a good job. You know, I'm a coach. I'm special teams. I want to see aggressiveness. That wasn't too late. That wasn't blatant. That wasn't on purpose. That was good hustle.
Offside, kicking team. Penalties decline. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 42, kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
I know he might be getting some grief over on the sideline. That's a good play. That's all right. Don't worry about that. You play aggressive, play tough. Take a look at it on the replay. First of all, we should have had him right here. Missed tackles. Wrap him up. See what you hit. You'll see right here on the sidelines. We'll see how late this is. And bam, that's, you know what? Come on, man. If we want to play like that, we'll put flags on everybody.
Chris, you don't change. That's what we love about you. You know that? You don't change. Chris Redmond on first down, back to throw, gets it out. It's complete. Stop down short of the first down. That's John Jones, the tight end. Josh Thornhill from Michigan State in on defense for the Lions. And Josh Thornhill has impressed these coaches a little bit so far, Chris. He's got a good chance to make this football team.
Talking to Jennifer Ham, and he's coming to camp with a little chip on his shoulder for not being drafted. But Josh has got to be able to bring him down and not let that tight end get extra yardage. Bring your feet. That's all right. He's excited. Do a good job.
John Jones picks up 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2. Tellis Redmond, the deep back, he gets the call. Not much there at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. Nice job by Jimmy Wyrick coming up and forcing the play.
Those corners come up and be good run supporters. Jimmy Wyrick fighting for position on his team and playing time.
Travis Kershke in there as well. And this is where you start to see some of the guys that are going to have a chance to show these coaching staff what they can do. Some of these guys that might be a little bit down the depth chart and need a big performance in some of these preseason games.
Especially with guys hurt. One man's lost, another man's opportunity.
3rd down and 2 now for the Ravens. Pressure comes. Redmond throws, gets it out there complete to Kenyon Hambrick. Now they're going to say incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Nice coverage out there by Chris Cash, who's really impressed this coaching staff so far. Rookie cornerback Luther Ellis coming in to apply some pressure.
Yeah, Jared DeVries did a nice job of pulling up on a 3-step drop and jumping, getting those big arms up in the air, forcing the high throw to the sidelines. Nice read by Jared.
And once again, Larry Foster's going to go back deep for the Lions. They're going to get the football back, leading by a score of 3-0. 13:28 to go, 2nd quarter here in Baltimore. Punt is away, doesn't really turn over. Foster comes up, takes it in his own 18, gets across the 20 to the 25, 26-yard line, 32-yard punt, 5-yard return. Stop on the play by Lonnie Mitchell of the Ravens. So the Lions will take over now, leading in this game by a score of 3-0. Mike McMahon directing the offense, and he'll do that when we come back. Stay with us. Back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, 13-19 to go second quarter. Lions leading the Ravens by a score of 3-0. 3 points coming off the turnover. Lions with a 42-yard field goal by Jason Hanson. First down and 10 now. They have it at their own 27. Corey Schlesinger, the lone back behind McMahon. He gets the call. Tries to pick his way, find a little room. He does out to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 3. It'll bring up second down and 7. Chad Williams coming up to force the run from his safety position, making the stop for Baltimore.
Seen a lot of different formation changes by the Lions. We're going one back, we're going split backs, we're going eye backs. And I think that's important, Dan. I'm not one for hiding anything, especially when you're 2 and 14 on a year. Let's get it going and get it right. Let's practice it when the lights are on.
McKenzie, Schrader, and Anderson, 3 receivers in the game now for Detroit. Schlesinger, the lone running back. McMahon changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Gives it to Corey. Maybe a yard to the 31. It's going to bring up third down and 6. Shannon Taylor coming up to make the stop for Baltimore.
Now, some of the plays Marty's calling, according to him last night, he wants to see guys in certain situations. So if you're out there watching the game, don't panic. You want to see him throw the football. But the point being made, what you want to do is win first and second down. Right now, we are not doing that.
4 receivers into the game for Detroit. Lamont Moore in the lone setback. Third down, 6. McMahon, straight drop. Down he goes. Hit hard. Ball's loose. And it looked like the Lions were able to get it back. Heads up play as Ed Hartwell came in strong. Brendan Stein looked like was able to recover the football. Take another look at this play.
Yeah, we have some confusion right here, and you'll see Hartwell come from his middle linebacker position inside. Brendan Stein, I think, has to come off and pick him up. Does a good job of stripping the football. Right here, you'll see him come in, find an open hole, then get his hands on the football, tackle him high. But Brendan Stein does a nice job of awareness coming back and getting the football and recovering it, keeping the Ravens from getting great field position.
Loss of 8 on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 14. Lions will punt it away. John Jett is in. Jett set to punt it away and does. Angles it over towards the sidelines. Take it there at about the 38. Back to the 40, to the 50. Down to the 45, down to the 40. A great return. 44-yard punt. 34-yard return. Heads up play on special teams out there by Lamont Brightful. Kalimba Edwards finally coming up to make the tackle for Detroit, but not before the Ravens are able to pick up terrific field position.
Yeah, what hurts the Lions right there, if you're a gunner, if you're matched up one-on-one, you cannot get blocked. Campbell right there is getting handled by Johnson. Now, he doesn't do a lot of physical contact, but he walls him off. The wall's set up, and he gets downfield. That's a good job of hustling, though, by the Detroit Lions punt team. Right here, you'll see the wall off right there. He doesn't clip him. He just kind of walls him off, gets him out of the way, and lets the runner do what he does best, get the ball upfield.
First down and 10 now for the Ravens. Good field position at the Lions 33. On first down, Redmond gives to the left side. That's Tellis Redmond down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 7. It's going to bring up second down and 3.
Tellis Redmond, running back out of Minnesota, came out early. He's vying for the number 3 job.
Chester Taylor, it looks like, has a very good chance to be the second-string running back.
I did a game up in Toledo for the MAC championship game last year, Dan. He's very impressive, instinctive runner. Chester Taylor is somebody to keep your eye on.
Chester Taylor out of River Rouge High School and the University of Toledo, not playing tonight, has a lower leg injury. Not considered serious, but they're keeping him on the shelf for the evening. Second down, Redmond, not much there. Nice play inside by Kalimba Edwards to make the stop. It's going to bring up third down and short.
Kalimba Edwards figures to play big in this Lions defense, has a great presence, natural pass rusher. Now, I'll tell you what, if you're the Detroit Lions defense, you saw Stokely come there, he stopped his motion. Anytime a receiver stops his motion right outside the offensive tackle, he's doing that to cut off the backside pursuit. As a Lions defender, you start yelling, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Rabbit means run, Dan.
There you go. And there's the run. And so far, he's done a good job of running tonight. Redmond, 8 carries, 32 yards. We'll see what they do here on third down and 3. Backs are split behind Redmond. He's back to pass. Looks left side of the field, throws out there, throws it away. Incomplete because the pressure was coming. The Lions had all sorts of guys coming after him. Most of the pressure being applied in there by Corey Harris, who came in from his safety position on the blitz.
Got two safeties. That's a double safety blitz. You got the two new guys in there, Harris and Walker. Redmond did a good job of getting rid of the football. Receiver in miscommunication was supposed to throw it out. He ran in.
So Matt Stover's coming on for a 44-yard field goal. He'll try to tie this game at 3 apiece. Spot down, kick up. Does he have enough leg there? Yes, he does. Not by much. I don't think Matt Stover got his foot into that one very well, but just enough to get it through.
Yeah, it looked like my driver I hit on 17 the other day where I drop kicked it, but he got it through.
Well, you just barely got it on the fairway then.
Yes, I did.
Just barely made it over the goalpost. We're going to take a break and come right back. We are tied at 3 here at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. Preseason opener for the Lions, preseason opener for the Ravens. You're watching it. We hope you're enjoying it. Back with more after this. Back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, game tied at 3 so far. Field goal for Matt Stover, field goal also for Jason Hansen. Lions are going to get it back right now. Larry Foster deep, standing at about his own goal line.
Not a bad job by the Lions defense. Bad field position. Hold the opponent to a field goal.
J.R. Jenkins kicks it. Foster's got a line on it, takes it at his own 2. Foster back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Foster with the daylight out to the 25-yard line, 23-yard return. And that's where the Lions will take over. First down and 10. John Jones making the stop for the Ravens. Baltimore and Detroit tied at 3. We're coming right back after this. Dan Miller, Chris Spielman back in Baltimore. Ravens and Lions tied at 3. 9:27 to go in the first half. Lions with it now. First down and 10 from their own 26.
One thing to watch again is Mike McMahon's progress, and Marty's given him every opportunity because he's keeping the first team offensive line in there for protection.
Well, we anticipate that he's going to play the first half, and then we should see Ty Detmer and Joey Harrington in the second half. McMahon so far 3 out of 9 for 23 yards and 1 interception. Give over the right side is to Avion Kason. Kason tracked down from behind. Stop is made by Reggie Waddell.
So Reggie Waddell did a nice job. He didn't give 1 for 1, then does a nice job of slashing him down with one arm. That's a great tackle and a great play.
Second down and 10, no gain on the play. Certainly looked like Kason had some room there, but it closed up pretty quick. Kason remains in the game now. He's the deep back. Stephen Trejo, the up back behind McMahon. McMahon with a play fake, going to throw on second down. Can't find much happening. Throws out there, incomplete. Looking for Trejo. And as you saw earlier, Robert Bailey, also a member of our broadcast team tonight. He's standing by down on the sidelines with Robert Porcher.
Robert, you certainly look good out there with 3 hurries on the quarterback. Does this defense allow you to play more up the field?
Oh, yeah, it's really simple. And that's the thing that Kershaw and Hummer wants to do. He wants the players to play. And, you know, we all just really love what we're doing because it's really simple.
How does this defense compare to last year's defense?
We're not out there thinking as much as we were last year. We're just playing and having fun. And, you know, you'll see that a lot this year. Guys just being able to make a play because we're not having to think so much about what we're doing. We're just reacting.
Thank you, Robert. Back to you, Dan.
All right, thank you to both the Roberts. On third down, the Lions unable to convert. They're now 0 for 6 on third down. Sean Birdsong coming up to make the stop. Nice coverage defensively for Baltimore.
It is good coverage. And take a look at Mike McMahon's eyes and see if he takes his eyes and looks for his 1 or 2 or 3 or third option. No, he's got his eyes on the first option all the time. And Dan, guys are too good in the NFL. They're going to read a quarterback's eyes and make a break on it every time. He's got to know where their second and third option is in order to be successful.
Jet gets the punt away. Lamont Brightful this time is going to call for a fair catch down at his 33-yard line. 41-yard punt. That's where the Ravens are going to take over in a 3-3 game with 8:35 to go here in the second quarter from the charmed city of Baltimore. Beautiful night. Absolutely gorgeous night for football here.
I tell you, any night's a good night for football, isn't it?
Some better than others.
No, no. Any night's a good night for football. Oh, man.
You didn't prefer a night like this to 22 degrees and 35 degrees and a good hard rain pouring down on you?
I love them all.
Redmond falls down, throws it, gets it out to Tellis Redmond now. Tellis Redmond out across the 40-yard line. So a heads-up play by Chris Redmond, who was in trouble, finally got back up, out rid of it. Josh Thornhill makes the stop for the Lions.
Yeah, he had a wait at the security gate at the airport to throw it. We're not getting any pressure at all. But he keeps his composure, realizes where his outlet receiver is, and dumps the ball to Tellis Redmond, who is showing something to me tonight. Not only is he running the ball well, but he's able to catch the ball and secure and turn upfield and have field awareness of knowing where the sticks are.
Well, this is a big game for Tellis Redmond in their inter-squad scrimmage. He did not play well at all, and he knows that a job is at stake. And Brian Billick basically gave him the first half tonight to show what he can do, and so far, as you said, Chris, he's done a nice job.
You know, interesting thing about Tellis Redmond, he might not have been the starter up at Minnesota this year. They have two good running backs coming back. He probably made a wise decision in coming out early.
Redmond 32 yards rushing so far, 16 yards receiving. It is in fact a first down after a 10-yard gain. Ravens at their own 43, two receivers to the far side, and again Redmond the deep back. Chris Redmond's been the quarterback the whole way so far. We do expect to see Jeff Blake a little bit later on tonight. Javen Hunter coming down to the near side of the field. That's Redmond again out of the backfield, chased and brought down by Ken Philpott. Gain of 5. It'll bring up second down and 5.
You're playing man-to-man defense, and what's happening is we're getting a little bit exposed on the linebacker. You see Tellis Redmond right here again. Look, he's looking for his protection. He reads, okay, nobody's blitzing. I'm going to release on and have an option route on Philpott. Now, Philpott does a nice job of keeping in front of him and getting him down. You'd like to see just a little bit tighter coverage, hopefully to force a bad throw, or to hit him right when he gets the ball to jar that ball loose.
Hunter from Detroit Country Day to the far side of the field. Ron Johnson from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit to the near side. And it's going to be Hunter on the reverse, and he's got some room to midfield down to the 45. Nice move to get free. And Javen Hunter dives inside the 35 down to the 34. Pickup of 18. Former wide receiver from Notre Dame.
And what they did, they'll bring him in motion. They set this play up earlier. He's going to come around down the reverse. The first time they ran it, they gave it to the tailback Redmond and faked it with Stokely. Now they give it to Hunter and let him do. And right there, you got a chance to make a play. And you don't make the play, Chris Cash. You got to get that open field tackle. You're out there trying to earn a job.
Chris Cash has had a good camp so far, but you need to make plays if you want to stay in there. And that was a chance for Chris Cash to make one right there. First down and 10. Ravens in business inside the Lions 35. Nice play there defensively by Detroit. Jeff Gooch coming up to make the stop. Well, last Sunday, the Lions roared into downtown Detroit as part of a charity motorcycle ride benefiting Illich Charities for Children and other charities as well. Joined by Red Wings, Tigers, and Pistons, Matt Millen led over 2,500 motorcycles in a 30-mile ride along Woodward Avenue that ended at the Lions' new home, Ford Field. Need to get you out there on your hog, Mr. Spielman.
I wouldn't last 2 minutes on that thing, man.
Second down and 10 now. Backs are split behind Redmond. Lions come on the blitz. Protection holds up. Throws out there. Intended for Ron Johnson. Johnson couldn't hold on. Ball was thrown a bit wide. Coverage by Chris Cash.
It's a good job by Chris Cash that time. And I'll tell you, Chris Redmond is looking good. Ron Johnson out of Minnesota does a nice job of running a route. Chris Redmond throwing the outcut. He sees the vulnerability of the coverage. He's got to bring that one in. Although if he would have caught that ball, he might be thinking it's college. Only need 1 foot in. You'll see the veteran receivers drag the second foot to keep 2 feet in on the reception.
Third down 10 now. Fifth play of the drive. They started at their own 33 so far tonight. Ravens 3 out of 6 on third down. Javen Hunter in motion. Redmond back to pass. Pocket holds. Throws out there. It's complete right around the first down marker. Johnson comes up with the reception. Depend on the spot. Eric Davis made the stop. But it looks very much like the Ravens are going to have enough for a first down. The official says he wants to measure.
Yeah.
We'll let him do that, but I'll tell you what, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and give him a first down. I think they got it right.
Yeah,
there.
Johnson, though, been taught well. by Brian Billick. He runs to the sticks, and Chris Redmond knows where to deliver the football. Now, you'd like to see Jeff Gooch get over there with the underneath coverage. Eric Davis had him over the top. You want to see Gooch get underneath the fourth, either a high throw or a low throw. Gave Redmond time.
I am officially 0 for 1 on the season because it's going to be 4th down at about 6 inches.
Oh, you got to go for it. Let's establish some toughness on both sides of the football. It's a big chance for the Lions to stop them on 4th down. Now, of course, you got to be aware of the long count, and each team's trying to establish who's tougher. And you saw the game last night against the Jets and the Steelers. The Jets had a goal line stand. That'll do wonders for you. It's a big stand for the Lions defense and Kurt Schottenheimer to stop them on 4th and 1 if they can.
Well, they keep their offensive unit out there. Damian Hunter is checked in at running back. Alan Ricard, the big fullback, in front of him. See a shot of Kurt Schottenheimer looking at his defense, hoping they come up with a stop at a big play right here.
Right now, he doesn't have the right people in. That's why they call it timeout. He's looking, where's my guys? Where are my guys?
And Chris Redmond's going to come to the sideline and talk with Brian Billick. Kurt Schottenheimer will talk with his defense as well. We'll come back with a 4th down play right after this. Back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, game tied at 3. Ravens with a football facing a 4th down, about 6 inches. And they're going to go for it. Chris Redmond, the quarterback, with Alan Ricard behind him. He's the fullback. Deep back, Damian Hunter. He gets the call. Hunter spins the line of scrimmage, falls forward, ball's loose. There's a scramble for it. And we'll see who came up with it. The Lions say they have it. And in fact, it appears the officials agree. So the Lions are going to have the football. Corey Harris came up to make a very big play for Detroit. We'll take another look at it and see how, in fact, the ball did come loose.
Great job right there of getting penetration by Gooch. Fortunate turn back Philpott. Nice job of putting the helmet on the football, seeing what you hit, jarring the football loose. And Corey Harris, again, safeties, the new safeties, playing a big role in the new look Lions defense. Good hit, young man, Philpott. That a way to put your head in there.
Corey Harris with a fumble recovery tonight. Brian Walker with an interception return that led to 3 points. As you said, the 2 new safeties making a couple of big plays for Detroit this evening. Avion Case on the deep back. McMahon's going to throw, rolling to his right. Throws out there. It's complete. Knocked down at about the 32-yard line is John Owens. Anthony Mitchell makes the stop for Baltimore. Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Anthony Mitchell right here gets humbled. Big John Owens puts his shoulder down, gains extra yardage. Excuse me, that's Reggie Waddell. Corner for the Ravens. Took a shot.
2nd and 2 now for the Lions. McMahon fakes the give to Kason, looking deep, throws out there, wants Scotty Anderson. Ball batted in the air, and incomplete coverage by Reggie Waddell.
It's a good call by Marty Morningwig because he's got guys up here in the booth, Dan. They see what I see. Waddell took a shot. Okay, let's go attack him deep, see if he has all his light bulbs on up top. Go deep against and test him. He did. That was a great job of coverage.
And you can also do that when you pick up 8 yards on 1st down and you're facing that 2nd and 2.
We talked about all night. Winning 1st and 2nd
It's a great down to take some chances. Lions looking for a 1st down on 3rd and 2 there. 0 for 6 on 3rd down conversion so far this evening. Anderson in motion. McMahon rolls. That's Anderson who catches the football out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Should have enough to move the chains right there. And with just over 5 minutes to go before halftime, let's get an idea of what's coming up with our halftime show and swing it down to our halftime host, Jennifer Hammond. Hammer.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. And of course, all of the talk is about the Lions quarterback, Mike McMahon, in his 2nd year. He will be our featured player coming up at halftime. You see him on the field. You see him working hard, but this guy has put in a lot of hours in the offseason as he continues to progress and try to secure his role as a Lions starter. Plus, Robert Bailey joins me for all the highlights and stats coming up at the half. Dan?
Jen, thank you very much. Down goes Mike McMahon, sacked right there. Big play by Marquess Douglas. And a loss on the play for the Lions. So you will see a day in the life of Mike McMahon coming up at halftime. And a play in the night of Mike McMahon didn't go too well right there.
And Mike tries to do a good job on the play action, moving his feet. Marquess Douglas on top of him too much. One example of where Mike's feet couldn't get him out of trouble. Protect that football.
Well, this Ravens crowd was hoping that that had been a fumble, but in fact the official blew it dead. And that's going to bring up 2nd down at 23 now for the Lions. Avion Kason still in at running back for Detroit. He gets the call right up the middle. Kason to the 30 to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 9. Still going to be 3rd down and 14. Bart Scott coming up to make the stop for Baltimore.
You know what? That had a chance to be a big play. And what you want to see is your receivers blocking downfield. You'll see Scotty Anderson come in right here and try to get a block on the linebacker. If he gets that block on the linebacker, that has an opportunity to be a big play. Scotty's got to put a little more helmet on him.
Lamont Warren in now for the Lions at running back. 3 receivers in the game. The tight end is Matt Murphy. 3rd and 14. McMahon pressure from behind. Down he goes. Sack on the play by Shannon Taylor. So McMahon has a rough series right there, and the Lions are going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, if you want to be a running back and make this team, you better be able to blitz pickup. And right there, Lamont Warren gets beat because he gets out of position. You got to be able to wall him off. You can't hit him with a half a man, especially if you're giving up about 100 pounds. You need to hit him with whole man, not half man. Half man doesn't get the job done.
2 sacks on the drive right there for the Ravens. John Jett set to punt it away. Can't quite get it to turn over. Brightful's going to call for a fair catch at his own 39. That's a 37-yard punt. Ravens will take over. Game tied at 3. Davion Kason coming up to apply the pressure. Brightful saw him and put that arm in the air as quickly as he could. So with 3:47 to go and Chris Redman's night probably nearing an end, be interesting to see how Brian Billick plays this. This is a chance, as you said, Chris, to see certain players in certain situations, and as the half winds down, it's a chance to see how Chris Redman handles this. And also that Lions defense. Chris Schottenheimer hoping they can come up with another stop. It's Redman looking out there, throws complete. Great catch by Ron Johnson, who had to leave the ground to get it. Does gain a 20.
Nice job again by Chris Redman, recognizing the coverage and being able to throw in between coverage. And it helps when you're throwing to a guy who's 6'3". Right there, Ron Johnson goes up at the highest point, knows he's going to take the hit, but secured the catch. That's what you want to see from rookie wide receivers. Big targets, Dan. That's a trend in the NFL. Get them big receivers out there.
Redman so far tonight, 9 out of 17 for 85 yards and an interception. He's in business here. They're at the Lions 39. 3:09 to go in the first half. This time the give is to Redman. Nice play. Philpott coming in to cause the loss behind the line of scrimmage.
We talked about one gap defense and how it works. And right there, Philpott, I ISO'd on him the whole play. I have a tendency to watch those linebackers sometime, and you'll see him finding the opening, take a shot, and make a play. He's responsible for that gap right there. You'll see him fill it. Right there's a cutback. That's a good job by 67 holding his gap. That's a picture-perfect front 7 run defense. Philpott on block, secures the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Travis Kershke doing his job. Ken Philpott's made a couple of plays so far this evening. 2nd down, 12 now from the 41. Redman back to pass. Pressure was coming. Johnson cut off the route. Flag goes down. Might be a late hit out there, as Redman was taken down by Jared DeVries.
He already gave the preliminary signal.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 95. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Let's see what Jared does here. We'll be the judge of it, although he's already got it called. Right there, he's stepping. Yeah, he's got to be able to pull off and give him a bump there. That's a mental error. You got to be aware of where that quarterback is and what he's doing, because those referees will not hesitate. This is a league of the quarterback. They want to protect the quarterback. They won't hesitate to make that call.
Detroit tonight, 3 penalties for 35 yards. And if you're Marty Morningweg, you don't like to see that. Those are the type of penalties that keep drives alive. 1st down and 10 now for the Ravens. They're at the Detroit 26, 2:21 to go first half. Game tied at 3. Redman back and looking down the middle of the field. Wanted Hunter, incomplete, knocked away by Cash. Maybe another example of a quarterback not putting enough air under a ball there, because it looked like he might have had Hunter if he'd have thrown it a little deeper.
Cash does a good job. He's baiting Chris Redman now. He's got to throw that ball on a line. He threw it behind him, and when you have the speed that Cash has, you can't do that because these guys will go ahead and cut underneath. Christopher Cash does a nice job out of Southern California of breaking underneath and getting that far arm across to knock the ball down. That's how you make a football team and become a nickel or dime back on this Lions defense.
The Lions are hoping some of these young corners will step up, be it Andre Goodman or Chris Cash. As they do have some corners, little age on them. As Redmond fumbles the snap, Lions say they have it, and in fact they do. The offense will come back out on the field. That's the third turnover of the night for the Baltimore Ravens. Jared DeVries coming in to pick up the football. Just as Jared DeVries made a play that might be questionable with a late hit, he comes up with a big fumble recovery right there, and the Lions will take over once again.
And that's a good job of penetration, forcing the bad snap. You talked about what would drive Marty Morningwig crazy, or roughing the passing penalties. Roughing the passer penalties will drive Brian Billick crazy. His turnovers in the red zone toward the end of the half. You're giving away points. You cannot do that and be successful in the National Football League. You got to score when you're in the red zone.
You saw right there, the Lions force a turnover. 10 more pizzas from Buddy's to the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. That'll go on all year. The Lions have already forced 3 this evening. Avion Kason gets the ball off the delay. He doesn't find much room. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gained a couple. It'll bring up second down as we tick down towards the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. Maki Kiamatu making the stop for Baltimore. 2 minutes to go, first half. Ravens and Lions tied at 3. Detroit trying to get something going here before halftime. We'll see how they do when we come back. Dan Miller and Chris Spielman back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. Ravens and Lions tied at 3 in the preseason opener for each team. 2 minutes to go in the first half. There you see Mike McMahon's numbers so far, 5 out of 14 for 34 yards. Has a chance to get something done here in what we assume will be his final 2 minutes of action here tonight. Expect to see Ty Detmer and Joey Harrington in the second half. Lamont Warren is the setback behind McMahon. He's going to throw on first down, looking out there and throwing for Kevin McKenzie, but it throws it behind him incomplete.
Yeah, Kevin McKenzie open. I think he was looking for Kevin. Let's go ahead. He's telling him right there, go ahead and pull that route short a little bit when that corner has inside position. I'll give you the football. You can make a play.
That corner was Reggie Waddell, who did a nice job in coverage. Total yards so far tonight, Detroit only 31. Baltimore with 146. But neither team has been able to put much on the scoreboard. McMahon on 3rd and 8. 3 receivers in the game. Ravens showing blitz. They don't come. McMahon throws out over the middle. Again looking for McKenzie. Batted in the air and picked off. The Ravens come up with it. There is a flag down. Chad Williams got the interception. Mike McMahon saying it's against Baltimore. We'll have to wait and see.
I think Anthony Mitchell got there a little early. Break for the Lions.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 42. Automatic. First down.
So in fact, it is a big break for the Lions as they'll get to keep the football now.
This is a well-delivered football. Right there, Anthony Mitchell gets a good break on the ball, and he did get there early. Again, though, Mike is not looking receivers off. He's staring down his target. That's why Anthony Mitchell got there early. He had too good of a break. It's a close call, but a good call.
First down and 10 now from the Lions at their own 41. 1:50 to go in the first half. McMahon again to throw. Looks out incomplete. Throwing out there for his big tight end, rookie Matt Murphy. Bart Scott in coverage for Baltimore to bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, Bart Scott had a handful of jersey. He's lucky he didn't get called on the big rookie tight end right there. Let him get away. It might have been an uncatchable pass. But it's a good situation for Marty Morningwig. I don't think he could draw something up better. He wants to see how Mike McMahon performs under pressure in a 2-minute situation to drive this football team down the field.
Second down 10 now for Detroit. Lamont Warren the back. McMahon from the shotgun. Gets the snap, has time. Nowhere to throw it though, and he's going to have to roll out, and down he goes. McMahon sacked by Ed Hartwell. 3rd sack of the night for the Ravens.
That's a second for Ed Hartwell. He's doing a good job from his linebacker position. You see him there. He's kind of on a delayed blitz. Nobody picks him up. He keeps coming. Now Mike's got to get rid of that football in a 2-minute situation. If nobody's downfield, there's no running lanes. Dump the ball off.
And that's a coverage sack because he certainly had time to throw the football there, just nowhere to go with it. As you said, he's got to learn to get rid of the football, but that'll come in time. On 3rd and 18 now, McMahon needs a bunch. Again from the shotgun. McMahon throws over the middle, has McKenzie at midfield, and McKenzie stretches and may indeed have the first down. He does. A big play, gain of 20 before Anthony Mitchell took him down, but the Lions are in business in Ravens territory, converting on a 3rd and 18.
It was a big play and a tough throw and a crucial throw.
McMahon with only one timeout left, hustles to the line of scrimmage, gets it out to Lamont Warren. Warren down at the 40-yard line, taken down there as the clock ticks. 35 seconds to go in the first half. Bart Scott makes the stop. McMahon hustles the Lions to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 3. Lions again with only one timeout remaining. 23 seconds to go. McMahon looks, can't find anybody, throws out there. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Larry Foster. Double coverage on the play. Anthony Mitchell, one of the Ravens in the area. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3, 16 seconds to go in the first half.
One quick point, if you have a 3-step drop, you're in a 2-minute situation. If your receiver's not there, especially with that clock ticking, get rid of the football now. Don't try to force something. If it's not there, throw it into the 5th row. Don't worry about it. We got plays. We got one timeout. We need to get some plays down the field to put Jason in position. Don't waste time holding on to the ball.
Big 3rd down for the Lions right here in a 3-3 game. Both receivers to the far side of the field. McMahon throws out there, has Kason. Kason dives for the first down. Does not get out of bounds, though. Clock continues to tick. The Lions are going to have to use a timeout. They did get the first down, but Kason did not get out of bounds. Alvin Porter made the stop for Baltimore, but with 6 seconds to go, you would figure we'll now see Jason Hanson.
Well, I like the call because you're doing it to get out of bounds. Now what you have to do is keep your feet to get out of bounds. Levon Kason got a little excited, wanted to get the first down, but he's got to keep his feet to get out of bounds. Stumbled. That was a good call by the official, by the way, to keep that clock rolling.
In fact, we will see Jason Hanson, and this is going to be better than a 50-yard attempt. Should be about 52 by the time John Jett puts it down. So far tonight, the Lions scoring has come off the foot of Jason Hanson. One field goal for him, 42 yards. And also Baltimore getting a field goal from Matt Stover, and that's all we have on the board so far.
The offensive line has to do a good job and hold stout, because on a 50-yard kick or beyond, that ball is going to come out low. You got to stop penetration.
And it's going to be 53 yards for Jason Hanson. Bradford Banta will snap the football. 6 seconds to go in the first half here in Baltimore. Spots down. Hanson puts his foot into it. It's on the way. And it is good. Jason Hanson showing the leg early in the preseason. 53 yards. And the Lions take a 6-3 lead. 3 zeros on the clock. That should be the end of the first half, as the Lions come up with a late drive and a big 3rd down play. It's Kevin McKenzie and Mike McMahon teamed up for 20 yards on a 3rd down and 18 to keep that drive alive and then help the Lions jump up here.
Nice job of John Jett of securing that snap. It looked a little low from up here, but John Jett, being the veteran that he is, kept his composure, and Jason nailed it.
Now the officials have yet to leave the field, and they say there's a 2nd left. They've put a 2nd back on the clock. Seems to me you don't necessarily need to do that in the first game of the preseason. We could all probably go to the locker room and feel good about things right now, couldn't we?
We all could. But let me tell you, now, this is a crucial situation. If you're the Lions, you don't want to present any opportunity for a return. One of the possibilities would be to high pooch kick it, make one of those big guys handle it, or force a fair catch.
Things for Marty Mornhinweg to think about down there on the sidelines. And we'll hear from Marty momentarily. He'll talk with our Jennifer Hammond on the way into the locker room. Lions scoring drive, 10 plays, 32 yards, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Of course, the 53-yard field goal by Jason Hanson is, as we said, the big play. McMahon to Kevin McKenzie for 20 yards on 3rd and 18. And Kevin McKenzie is a young receiver this team likes. He's got speed and he's got ability, and he showed it on that play.
It was a nice throw by Mike McMahon. Didn't have success going over the middle, but hung in there, threw the ball low and inside, only where McKenzie could handle it.
And there's the pooch kick that you were talking about. Ravens will take it. They'll go down at the 37-yard line, and that'll do it for the first half. The teams will head for the locker room. We anticipate in the second half we'll see Ty Detmer for a series or two. Joey Harrington as well. we'll get our first look at the Lions' first-round draft pick, the 3rd overall pick from this year. Let's swing it down to the field right now. Jennifer Hammond standing by with the head coach.
All right, thank you very much, Dan and Chris. Marty Morningwig accentuating the positive here. Talk to me about the first half play of your defense.
Well, it looks like we have a defense. Our front 7 played very well. Our secondary played well as the game went on. Looks like we're getting a little heat on the passer, but it's a little bit too sporadic.
Talk to me about Mike McMahon and his play in the first 2 quarters. What you saw that you liked.
He threw the one bad interception. And there's a couple other things. He took too much time there at the end of the game. We should have had at least 1 more and maybe 2 more plays. He ended up executing fairly well, especially in that 2-minute drive, and made a couple other nice throws.
Have we seen all of him for the game?
Yeah, that'll be it. Ty will come out for 1 series, and then Joey Harrington will take the rest of the game.
All right, thanks, Marty Morningwig. Good luck in the second half. We're going to be back with all of the highlights and statistics from Ravens Stadium in Baltimore right after the break. And welcome back, everybody, to Ravens Stadium. At halftime, the Detroit Lions leading the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 6-3. And for Mike McMahon, this is a very telling game and a very telling season. He comes into the year as the Lions starting quarterback, working to keep his job. And every day he works hard at training camp. We spent a day in the life with Lions quarterback Mike McMahon just to show you a little bit about what goes on in his life on and off the field. It's 7:15 a.m. and time for Mike McMahon's wake-up call from teammates Bill Schrader and Ty Detmer.
Close it.
By 7:45, he grabs a quick breakfast shake at the Lions' new practice facility in Allen Park.
Don't want to be having stomach cramps out there. Lunch and dinner is much bigger.
And by 8:30, he's taking the field for another grueling day of training camp.
From last year to this year, it's changed a lot for myself as far as the speed of the game. Now I know once the season starts going, the speed's gonna pick back up. Because in practice, there's practice speed and there's game speed, but I know it's slowed down so much in a whole year that, you know, I just can't wait to keep on playing more and more and see where I am, not so much now, but 5 years down the road if I continue to play as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Black, 22 strikes out!
And if you want to succeed in the NFL, you have to learn to live with a little pain.
Yeah, my feet are dead. Like, you know, shoes are too tight or something, toes. I started getting a little sore. Last week was getting ready to get rough. The legs started dying on you. Next thing you know, start throwing with your legs behind it. Next thing you start throwing all arm. Next thing your arm starts getting sore. Now you have sore arm and legs. But, you know, it comes back. You get a day off. You rest here and there. You're trying to rest as much as you can, ice and things. And then it's going to come back eventually. It's going to get in, you know, good condition shape and come back. And I'm just waiting for that to come now. You know, I'm feeling pretty tired now, but, you know, that's camp, and you got to fight through it, and that's part of football, and you just deal with it and move on.
McMahon also deals with the fact that all this hard work doesn't guarantee him the starting job.
I think there's a little bit, you know, competitiveness between us, you know. I think we're getting a little bit better as camp goes on. I am younger than Joey by a year, though, and, you know, so, and Joey already got paid the big bucks. You know, I'm working hard to get there, so. And that's the situation, you know, he's working hard to get the starting job. I'm working hard to keep my starting job and to eventually become a franchise quarterback. It's definitely a dream come true for myself, and I just want to make the most of the opportunity. I want to take it and run with it and take a team to the playoffs and eventually, you know, to the Super Bowl and win one. You know, that's the ultimate goal.
Nice job. Nice job.
And, of course, for Mike McMahon, not exactly the beginnings to this preseason that he would have wanted, but certainly he's got a lot of time to work on that. We're going to see Joey Harrington coming up in the second half, and you're going to see more of me and Robert Bailey coming back after these messages from Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. Stick around.
You would expect a sports bar to have a bunch of TVs. Vitale Sports Bar in Comstock Park has a lot of TVs. But they also have a terrific new menu, from Cajun chicken wraps to panini, twisted barbecue and Italian nachos, to grilled soy salmon and great 8-ounce sizzlers. Vitale Sports Bar has great food that will make watching your game or special event much more fun. Vitale's also has a terrific lunch buffet and their award-winning pizza. Not all sports bars are created equal. Check out Vitale's Sports Bar on West River Drive in Comstock Park.
Don't be one of the 80% of adult Americans who suffer from sleep deprivation. Sleep better, America, with a new 2003 Simmons Dreamscapes Beauty Rest mattress set from Art Van. Save 35 to 50% on all of our 2003 Simmons Dreamscapes collection. Simmons mattresses start at just $59, including Simmons Beauty Rest and Michigan's largest collection of Olympic Queen Beauty Rest. Plus, you do not pay till 2004 or will pay your sales tax. All with free next day delivery or your mattress is free. Shop and save at Art Van today.
How many reasons do you need to get into Jeep Liberty? How about zero? Because now for a limited time, you can get 0% financing for 36 months on the all-new 2002 Liberty, which could save you up to $2,700 in finance charges. Plus, to make this great offer even better, it's backed by the security of our 770 Powertrain Limited Warranty. So get to your Jeep dealer today. There's no reason not to. Check it out today.
Comedy that dances to a whole new beat. Cedric the Entertainer presents Fox Fall.
And welcome back, everyone, to Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Jennifer Hammond, joined by Robert Bailey. We're bringing you the Lions game where they currently lead it at halftime by a score of 6-3. Let's take a look at the first half statistics in this one between Baltimore and Detroit. And Robert, what jumps out at you in those numbers right now?
Well, Baltimore is leading in practically all the statistics on the board. Surprisingly, the Lions are still winning. That says a lot about the way the Lions are handling the ball. Baltimore has a lot of turnovers, but the Lions are still in the game.
How about that time of possession? Obviously, one thing Baltimore was very effective at in the first half was running the ball against Detroit.
Oh, yeah, Baltimore is steady. They're running the ball, a lot of passing. But like I said, the turnovers is what's hurting the Baltimore Ravens now, and it's helping the Lions. It shows that Kurt Schottenheimer's defense is definitely doing the job.
All right, and one of the big things, of course, is making plays, and the Lions did plenty of that defensively. They came up with 3 turnovers in that half. Very important to Marty Morningwig. Take a look at the band as they play on here halftime at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. We're going to be back with the highlights and the second half coming up after this.
I can't hear.
And welcome back to Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Jennifer Hammond with Robert Bailey, the Lions and Ravens at the half. And of course, there were some very big defensive plays, Robert, in this game that got the Lions on the board. Let's take a look at some of these highlights to take you back here.
The defense is doing a wonderful job with the turnovers. They're pressuring the quarterback, and that shows that the defense is very comfortable.
All right, and obviously Jason Hanson, huge for Detroit. Some people said that it was an off year for him last year, but he was certainly clutch there, hitting the 53-yarder.
Well, both kickers have certainly stepped up. Jason has done a good job. He is the kicker on this team. There is no competition. Right. He's very comfortable. But this game is all about the kicking right now because offenses aren't doing anything.
All right, thank you, Robert Bailey. We're going to have more from Dan Miller and Chris Spielman when we return for the second half action from Baltimore, Maryland.
Detroit Lions football is being brought to you by Buddy's Pizza, Detroit's #1 square deep dish pizza for over 65 years. By ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. By Big Boy Restaurant, home of the original Big Boy double-decker hamburger. And by HealthQuest, official chiropractic doctors of the Detroit Lions.
Dan Miller, Chris Spielman back here in Baltimore. Joey Harrington getting set to go in the second half. The #3 pick overall in this last year's draft. We anticipate, if you heard Marty Morningwig going into the locker room at halftime, that we're going to see Ty Detmer coming out for the first series or two. Then they'll hand it over to Joey Harrington, who should finish the night.
I like that decision. I think you need to keep Ty in the ball game. He's an important part of this Detroit Lion team, especially with 2 young quarterbacks. You want to have the calmness of the veteran and a guy like Ty Detmer, who's used to tutoring guys and learned under a lot of the best guys.
And at the same time, Ty will get a chance to kind of get out there, break a sweat as he gets set for the regular season. In the second half, the Ravens will receive. Jason Hanson set to kick it off. Lamont Brightful and Tellus Redmond deep for Baltimore. 30 minutes of football to play here. Ravens Stadium, Lions leading 6-3. We are underway here in the second half. Dance's kick going to be handled by Brightful at the 9-yard line. Back to the 15, to the 20. Dances his way out to the 25 and finally taken down there. Nice play on special teams by Krantz Clemens. 17-yard return. And that's what Baltimore's going to take over. First down and 10 at their own 26. In at quarterback now for the Ravens, Jeff Blake. Spent last season down in New Orleans. Came up to Baltimore knowing that he would not have a chance to start. They signed him, but they said there's no competition. We want you to be the backup. Indeed, that's what he's going to be.
Yeah, he's not buying it, though, Dan. I've been reading and hearing about Jeff Blake. He wants to be the starter. And I don't blame him. If you're a competitor, you want to come in and play.
Jeff Blake, be it at East Carolina, be it with the Jets, or be it in New Orleans, he's never had a shortage of confidence. Mishandles the snap there. He's got to take it himself. Turns it upfield, gets a couple of yards. Finally taken down by Andre Goodman. And an interesting play there by Goodman, because if the Lions have an early question about him, Chris, it's his tackling ability. They want to see if he's going to stick his nose in there and make some big plays.
He's coming off that shoulder surgery. And again, it seems to me, and just a young observation, I guess, of Kurt Schottenheimer's defense, that the corners are involved in the running game. And so far, they've done a good job of tackling.
Damian Hunter, the lone setback behind Blake on 2nd down and 8. First possession of the second half here in Baltimore. Lions leading the Ravens by a score of 6-3. Blake's going to throw, gets it out to Jones. Jones hangs on to the football. He gets the first down. Josh Thornhill made the stop, but not before the Ravens were able to advance the chains, picking up 9 on the play.
This is a play that they're going to use, and it's part of the. Since Brian Billick was in Minnesota, they like to get the tight end the ball over the middle. Now Josh Thornhill does a nice job of closing. Chris Cash comes and does a good job of finishing off. He's got to keep his head up, but that's on zone defenses. You're going to give up the underneath routes. What you'd like to see is a tackle being made earlier.
1st and 10. Ravens have it at their own 37. Receivers are split. Blake to throw. Pressure comes from behind by Edwards, and down he goes. Nice play by Jared DeVries. Initial pressure, as I said, came from the Lions' big 2nd-round pick, Kalimba Edwards. They got it from both ends right there.
This is what he brings, his speed. First of all, he does a good job of getting off the ball, and he has pad level. See, his pads are under the big fella's pads. Then he has those big, long arms, and Jared DeVries does a nice job of finishing off. When you have a presence like Kalimba Edwards on one side, guess what? If you're the opposing defensive end, you're going to be the beneficiary of a lot of pressure sacks like Jared DeVries was there.
Loss of 6 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 16 now for Jeff Blake and the Ravens. 3 receivers in. Damian Hunter, the back behind Blake. That's Johnson in motion, and that play is blown dead. Flags everywhere. It looked like the Ravens might have moved, and indeed it appears they did.
The one
Offense, number 81, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
When you have success blitzing, like the Lions have had tonight, what happens is those guys up front start getting a little nervous, and they're making calls out. There's Kurt Schottenheimer doing a good job. Like what I'm seeing from the defense, though. They're playing aggressive. They're not thinking. Again, thought brings hesitation. These guys are letting it go.
In Marty Morningwig's words, as he walked off the field, it looks like we have a defense, which I guess is encouraging. Because last year at times it certainly looked as if the Lions had a lot of trouble stopping the opponent, in particular at critical times in the 4th quarter. Lost a lot of close games. Blake has to roll out on 2nd down and 21. Throws out there, broken up. Nice play by Chris Cash. So the incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down and 21.
You're right, a nice play by Chris Cash. And if you're going to be a blitzing defense, the one thing you have to do is be able to play man-to-man, especially as a corner. You got to be playing man-to-man. They like this young man out of Southern Cal, the rookie corner. Again, does a nice job of getting that hand underneath and avoiding contact and avoiding the interference. That's a nice veteran play for a rookie.
3 receivers in the game now for the Baltimore Ravens. Javen Hunter and Ron Johnson to the top of your screen. Kenyon Hambrick to the bottom. Damian Hunter, the lone setback on 3rd and 21. Baltimore needs a bunch. Blake has to roll out, being chased. Still alive, gets it out there. That's Hunter across the 30. He's drilled down right there. Pick up a 6, and the Lions are going to get it back on 4th and 15. Andre Goodman coming up to make the stop.
Again, a test that Matt Millen, I talked to him this morning on the treadmill. Big Matt was working out. I said, tell me about Andre Goodman. I want to see if he can tackle, Chris. Right there, Andre Goodman made 2 tackles that series. That was a good, solid open field tackle. Would like to see him keep his feet, though. I don't want to see him go to his feet. Keep your feet.
So the Ravens are going to have to punt it away. Dave Zastudil in. Avion Kason deep, his first time back this evening. Zastudil gets a foot into it, doesn't turn over. Kason chases it down. It's going to bounce around the 30 and go out right there. So that's where the Lions will take over after a 38-yard punt. Not exactly a thing of beauty, but it got the job done. We have 11 minutes and 31 seconds to go here in the third quarter in Baltimore. Lions lead 6-3. Their first possession with Ty Detmer in control of the second half right after this. Back at Baltimore, 11:31 to go, third quarter. Lions leading the Ravens 6-3, set to go in their first possession of the second half. Ty Detmer has come on at quarterback. We expect him to play for a series or two. Then we'll see Joey Harrington. Detmer on first down gives it to Stephen Trejo. Trejo tries the left side of the line, driven back, picks up a couple, but not before Bart Scott makes the tackle for Baltimore. It'll bring up second down and long. Chris, my friend, I need a key adjustment for the second half. What do you have?
Well, the key adjustments for the second half is going to be the same thing that happened in the first half, is we've got to keep getting turnovers, especially in the air. And when you can create turnovers like Walker does here, doing a good job of playing center field, makes a play, then does a nice job of turning into a running back, creating field position for your offense. Our offense has struggled a little bit, but when the defense creates turnovers and gets field position, it helps us put points on the board.
Second down and 8. Ty Detmer in trouble, and down he goes again. It's Bart Scott coming up to make the stop. Scott has made a couple of good plays this evening. The rookie out of Southeastern High School in Detroit has to be making an impression on this Ravens coaching staff. 5 sacks tonight for Baltimore so far, and that one costs the Lions 6 yards. It'll bring up third down and 14.
People say you can't get pressure off a 34 defense. You can get pressure, and you get pressure from linebackers doing zone blitzes or zone pressures. That's what Baltimore's doing a good job of tonight.
So on third and 14, Detmer needs a big play if the Lions are going to keep this drive alive. Looking right, throwing right, got it out there. Ball and pass is complete to Kevin McKenzie. It's going to be short of a first down as Jason Olford came up and made the stop, and the Lions will have to punt it away on 4th and 5, gain of 10 there.
It's a good job of Ty finding the throw lane, and McKenzie securing the catch, knowing he's going to get hit, but has the courage to go up and get the air. That's something that you need to see from your young wide receivers.
And for the first time tonight, we'll see Dave Pabitschker, check that, Aaron Edmonds come on to kick it away for Detroit. Aaron Edmonds in camp getting a look, but you can bet this job is John Jett's. Edmonds with a punt taken by Brightfoot at the 24. Finds a little room, gets back out to the 28, taken down there. 40-yard punt, 5-yard return, tackle on special teams by John Owens. So the Ravens will take over their second possession of the second half, trailing 6-3, and Jeff Blake will get another crack at it. He's going to have to wait till after this because we are coming right back. Stadium in Baltimore. Dan Miller along with Chris Spielman. Lions leading by a score of 6-3. Ravens have it, first down and 10 from their own 28. Damian Hunter the deep back, Marvin Brown the up back. Jeff Blake is the quarterback. Jeff Blake, of course, was the starter in New Orleans, but lost his job to Aaron Brooks after Blake went down with an injury. And they really thought when they signed Jeff Blake a couple of years ago that he was going to be the guy down there. Jim Haslett signed him. He thought he was going to be a starting quarterback, but once Brooks got that job, he was not going to give it up.
Well, the one thing that Jeff Blake has always done is thrown a deep ball well, but Aaron Brooks has had the opportunity, took advantage of it. Now, I'll tell you one thing that Brian Billick and them are going to do in training camp is they're going to work on that quarterback center exchange, because right there, the ball was snapped low because why the center is getting pushed back 3 yards, a great penetration by Travis Kirchke, knocking that center back into the quarterback.
3 receivers in the game for Baltimore. Damian Hunter the lone setback on second down and 11. They lost 1 on that play. Blake with time, looks, throws out there for Hambrick. Did he hang on? Yes, he did at about the 38-yard line. Very close to a first down. Chris Cash out there in coverage making the stop. Pickup of 11. That's about what they needed, but it looks like they're going to call it third down and very short.
Right there you see the arm strength. of Jeff Blake. Chris Cash actually has good coverage on here, but you'll see Jeff Blake being able to deliver this from one hash to the sidelines, which is good arm strength. You see Hambrick have position. Chris Cash does a nice job of covering there, but Jeff Blake delivered the football where he needed to throw it.
Chris Cash giving up a couple of inches to Kenyon Hambrick right there, and size difference might have made the difference. And on third down, the Lions get a huge play by Kalimba Edwards, who came in to stop Damian Hunter. And just like that, the Lions are going to force a fourth down play coming up right here. So on third and short, the Lions got what they were looking for, a big stop by their second-round draft pick.
Yeah, you see Kalimba Edwards played linebacker, played defensive end, can do it all right there. His linebacker instincts come off. Instead of chasing in reverse, he sniffed out, saw the ball being handed off, and does a good job of securing the tackle and making a big stop on third down for the Lions defense.
Dave Zastudil in to punt it away for the Ravens. Avian Kason is deep for Detroit. Tries to take that one on the run, gets a bad bounce, ball's loose. Kason chases it down and gets it back himself. So exactly what a coach does not want to see, a fumble on special teams, but Kason was able to go back there and get it back. Tough bounce, but you have to make a decision on that one, Chris, whether or not you want to get out of the way or make the play. We'll talk about that when we come back. Lions leading at 6-3. They've got the ball. Back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, the Lions have gone to their #1 draft pick. Joey Harrington, the 3rd overall pick in this past year's draft, is in the game. First action for him. 6'4", 220 pounds, 23 years of age, out of Oregon. Now you see his numbers in college, and they were very, very good ones.
Making friends with the referee. You see that?
Absolutely. That's a veteran move right there. First down and 10 for Harrington, and he's going to throw one right off the bat. Looks, throws it out there, and overthrows LeBron Mitchell. I think what you saw right there was a young man who was very pumped up for his first couple of downs in the NFL. And there's obviously some competition between Mitchell and, or I should say, there's obviously some competition out there between these two quarterbacks, and we asked head coach Marty Mornhinweg about it.
Both of those guys have practiced terrific. Both of them are ready to play. Joey Harrington's probably a little further ahead at this point than I expected him. He's got all the attributes, yet things come naturally to him. He needs to see something, go 2 or 3 times, and he's got it.
Well, on his second pass attempt, Stephen Trejo could not hang on, and it's picked off by Rod Taylor. And just like that, Baltimore's got it back, 1st and 10 at the Lions 26. So that first set of downs did not go the way that Marty Mornhinweg or Joey Harrington had hoped it would.
Well, right there, you got the veteran presence of Ty Detmer settling him down, and Mike McMahon, his guys in competition with, talking to him. To me, it looked like Trejo could have caught it, but you can't tell from up here. That might have been a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, when it should have been a 75-mile-per-hour changeup when you're dumping one off.
All right, 1st and 10 now for the Ravens. They'd like to get something in the board here, trailing 6-3. Givens to Hunter, tries the left side, gets inside the 25, down to about the 24. Pickup of a couple before Josh Thornhill steps up to make the stop for Detroit.
And Josh Thornhill has an excellent chance of making his football team. An undrafted rookie out of Michigan State's come to camp with a chip on his shoulder because he was not drafted. Does a nice job of getting off a block and making a nice hit in the hole to keep it to a 2-yard gain. That's the way you're going to make this team, Josh.
2nd down and 8 at the Lions 24. Jeff Blake with his receivers split. Hunter to the far side, Johnson to the near. Blake's going to throw on 2nd down, looking out there for Johnson. Johnson tries to drag his feet, can't keep him in bounds. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Chidi Iwama out there in coverage for Detroit.
It's good coverage by Chidi Iwama, and Ron Johnson does a nice route. Jeff Blake's got to deliver that football. This time we talked about Ron Johnson learning how to keep both feet in bounds. He makes an effort right here. Jeff just overthrows it a little bit, and Ron Johnson, see that? 2 feet, tried to drag him in there. It's a good job in learning how to play wide receiver in the NFL.
Hambrick and Johnson to the far side, Javen Hunter to the near. On 3rd down and 8 now for Jeff Blake and the Ravens. Lions showing blitz. And somebody might have jumped on the line for Baltimore, and in fact they did, so they'll back them up a little further. I should also mention that Javen Hunter, told you out of Notre Dame at Detroit Country Day, is the son of former Lion James Hound Dog Hunter. Lions defensive back from 76 to 82.
One thing Big Smith there, a rookie out of Tennessee State. Again, the Lions showing that defense when those safeties are coming up, ready to blitz. Those offensive linemen get anxious. Say, I got to block those little water bugs. I gotta get moving. They got a little excited. Hold your water is what they say. Hold your water.
Everybody's trying to make an impression at this point. What you're dealing with now are a lot of guys trying to make the team. A little jumpy out there. 3rd down 13 now. Blake with pressure has to run out of it. Being chased. Can he get rid of it? Pump fake. Incomplete. It looked like he was trying to pump fake and hang on to the football. He lost it. He was being chased out there by Antoine Lake and also by Travis Kershke. That's going to bring up 4th down and 13.
It's a great job by Antoine Lake. If you want to play in this league, you want to be a defensive lineman, you got to be able to run. And this is going to help you make the football team when you run like Antoine, chasing the quarterback down and hustling, forcing a bad play by Jeff Blake. That's a great job of hustling and finishing the play and running.
So J.R. Jenkins comes in now to attempt a field goal. Matt Stover hit a 44-yarder earlier for Baltimore. Now it'll be Jenkins' chance. This one ends up as a 47-yarder if it goes through, and in fact it does. Kind of a knuckleball line driver, but it was good enough to go through and tie this football game at 6. J.R. Jenkins with a 47-yard field goal. So our score now with 6:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Lions 6 and the Ravens 6. Detroit will get it back when we come back. Back in Baltimore, Lions and Ravens tied at 6. J.R. Jenkins with a 47-yard field goal a moment ago. He's now set to kick it off for Baltimore. Avion Cason deep for Detroit. 6:13 to go in the 3rd quarter here. Jenkins puts his foot into it. Cason will take it at the 5. Cason back to the 10, 15, to 20. Out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Lions will take over there. 1st down and 10 in a tie ball game. Lonnie Mitchell with a stop for Baltimore after a 22-yard return. So Joey Harrington will come back onto the field. 0 for 2 with an interception his first time out. The Lions really like what he has done so far in camp. Marty really had some glowing things to say about him, Chris, the way that he's picked up on things very quickly and the way that he's handled himself.
That's the biggest thing, and probably the most important thing is that he's able to handle the offense at a young age.
Jonas Lewis gets the call. First one for him this evening. Across the 25 to the 26, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and long. We check out our game summary here in Baltimore. 5:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Turnovers 5 between the two teams. 3 of them for the Ravens, 2 for Detroit. Sacks 5 for Baltimore tonight. Total yards very much in favor of the Ravens. 168 to 56. That is our 4th game summary.
And 56 yards is certainly something you want to improve on.
Harrington throws left side, gets it out there. It's complete to McKenzie. McKenzie's run out of bounds after a gain of about 6. It'll bring up 3rd down. J.R. Johnson doing a nice job forcing the play.
That's a good delivery by Joey. Gave what the defense gave him. Made a nice read, delivered a nice ball, settled down a little bit. He's got an interception and a fastball out of the way. Now he's going to start throwing the ball the way Joey Harrington can throw the football. Right here, it's just a nice little 3-step drop. Delivers the outcut. Good pickup for him.
Joey Harrington with his first look at a 3rd down in the NFL on 3rd and 6. 3 receivers in the game. Harrington with a straight drop, looks, throws out there. It's complete. Nice catch by Eddie Drummond as across midfield down to the 48. And I think right there you saw an example of what you were looking for, Chris. He looked at a couple of different receivers on that play.
That's a great point, Dan. And this is what we didn't see Mike McMahon do in the first half. Here he goes. He dropped back, checks his first option. Not there. Where's my second option? Eddie Drummond out of Penn State, who has ability after he catches the ball, does a nice job, delivers the ball on the dime. It's where you want. Look, no, he's not open. Where's my other guy? Boom, right in the middle, 1st down. Good pickup, nice composure, hanging in that pocket.
21 yards on the play, 1st down 10 Lions at the Ravens 48. Harrington again to throw. Flags fly, whistles blow, plays dead. Looking out there for Trejo.
False start. Offense.
Somebody jumped for the Lions.
5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
So the Lions will be backed up now. It'll be 1st down and 15 so far tonight for Detroit. 5 penalties for 45 yards.
like what Marty's doing. He's giving them passes that are completable, if that's a word. He's able to, they're not high-risk passes, and this is that's the wisdom of Marty Morningwig in training young quarterbacks. He wants to give his guy a chance to succeed.
Jonas Lewis, the lone setback behind Harrington on 1st and 15. Ravens showing blitz. Harrington composed at the line, throws out there, gets it to McKenzie. McKenzie stopped back at the original line of scrimmage. Pick up a 4, maybe 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. Check that 2nd down and long.
That's a good play. You give yourself back to a 2nd down, manageable play. And what they see, Dan, is they'll see a 3-deep coverage in the corner playing off. And Joey Harrington's able to recognize that and delivers the ball to McKenzie where he needs to deliver it. Just as good as a run. That's a 5-yard gain. And more importantly, it's a confidence builder for your young quarterback.
2nd down, 10 now for the Lions. Receivers are split. And Harrington's going to throw again. Looks out there, throws it up, looking for Lewis. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage. Lewis did catch it, but no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Jonas Lewis is another player, number 32, who has a chance to make a contribution on this football team because that backup spot behind James Stewart is wide open.
And Joey recognized he has pressure, knowing where his outlet receiver is. Smart knowing the offense, understanding the offense.
Nice play by Salem Simon to get a big hand on the football there at the line of scrimmage. Harrington has completed 4 in a row as that one was complete after being batted up in the air. He's got time here, steps up, throws out there to Kason. Kason trying to get the 1st down and does it around the 35-yard line. So nice running by Avion Kason there to keep the drive alive before Gary Davis finally makes the stop with the Lions pick up 13.
Again, he's looking downfield, nobody there. He does recognize man coverage and say, wait a second, they're in man. That means my man, Avion Kason, is one-on-one with the linebacker. And no matchup. Avion Kason does a good job of separating and getting to the 1st down marker. Does a nice job of adjusting to the ball thrown behind him. But anytime you get that matchup with a linebacker in a one-on-one situation, a man-to-man, you want to go to him.
2 receivers to the right side this time for Harrington. Lewis is the deep setback behind him. Harrington rolls right, throws right, got it out there. It's complete to Eddie Drummond. Drummond across the 30 down to the 27. J.R. Johnson makes the stop for Baltimore, but not before the Lions can pick up 8. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
Again, Marty's giving him an opportunity to succeed, and he's going to call plays that work against the defense. The defense is playing a 3-deep zone. Linebackers responsible for flag coverage. It's impossible to cover when you have a quarterback that delivers the ball on time like Joey's doing.
Joey Harrington so far 6 out of 8 for 54 yards and an interception, but he's got the Lions in business right here. 2nd down and 3 from the Baltimore 27. Game tied at 6. 1:20 to go in the 3rd quarter here at Ravens Stadium. Stephen Trejo straight ahead, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nathan Bradley make that Nathan Bowling making the stop. That's going to bring up a 3rd down now and 3.
Well, you're not going to be able to run a ball if you don't knock people off. And you can't knock people off if you're standing straight up. Right now, that offensive line is getting a little tired because I see hands on hips. It's tough to run block with hands on hips in the huddle. That means you're tired. Hands off hips.
John Wayridge is checked in at the game for tight end for the Lions. Trejo and Lewis behind Harrington on 3rd and 3. Lewis gets the call, and he's met in the backfield, tracked up by Bernardo Harris, a free agent signed by the Ravens earlier this week. Nice play there, and it's going to be 4th down now.
Bernardo's been a fine player for the Green Bay Packers for a lot of years. And what, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. In that situation, they're talking about going for it, which is a good move, but in that situation during the game, during the season, he will audible because he will read blitz. When they have 18 guys running to where you're going to run the football, you might want to audible, and he will in a game plan type situation.
Play clock is down to 10, and it looks like Joey Harrington's going to go over to the sidelines and talk about this one. As we're also down 2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, 1 second. There's the end of the 3rd quarter, so the Lions will talk about it. They're facing a 4th down and 6 here at the Ravens Stadium. Game tied 6-6. We'll be right back to take a look at what they do after this. Back at Ravens Stadium, 4th down and 6 for the Lions. Game tied at 6. Joey Harrington back on the field, so it does appear that Detroit will go for it. Joey Harrington's been hot on this drive, 6 out of 6. for 56 yards, but he needs a big play right here.
And I think I saw Matt Millen up here in the press box with a huge sigh of relief after 0 for 2 with an interception. He comes back strong, going 6 for 6. Big down right here, though.
Yes, indeed. Big down for a rookie. Lions with their receivers split left and right. Kevin McKenzie and Eddie Drummond. It's McKenzie in motion. Harrington in trouble, and down he goes, but there is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Nathan Bowling came in to apply the pressure to Joey Harrington. We'll have to wait and see what the officials have to say. If it's against the Lions, they're going to have to give the ball back to Baltimore.
Illegal formation. Offense. Tackle wasn't on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. First down.
And just like that, on a 4th and 6, the Ravens come up with a big play. Their 6th sack of the ball game, and they'll get it back.
Again, though, if you want to look at the positive, he was 6 for 7 on a down. Didn't force a bad throw. Took the sack. Fine. Learning experience. You'd like to see him. At 4th down, you maybe want to throw it up and give it a shot, but that's a good choice.
All right, with the game tied at 6 and 14:57 to go in the 4th quarter, we're going to take a break and come right back after this. Dan Miller, Chris Spielman back in Baltimore. Ravens and Lions tied at 6, 14:57 to go in the 4th quarter. Baltimore's got it back after a big sack on a 4th down play. Caused the turnover, and now they have a chance to grab that lead if they can do it. Neither team has been able to do much offensively consistently tonight. Jeff Blake currently the quarterback for Baltimore. Damian Hunter the setback behind him. 3 receivers, 2 to the right and 1 to the left. Blake barking out the signals, throwing out there. It's complete. Nice catch by Ron Johnson near the first down marker. Pickup of 11. They'll move the chains. Krantz Clemens making the stop for Detroit.
See again a size matchup that Ron Johnson makes. Now, if you're playing defense right here, you do not want to give up the inside. Ron Johnson made a nice move outside. Beat Krantz Clemens on the slant route. Again, size does matter with Ron Johnson. Big target.
Ron Johnson, 4th round pick. 3 catches, 41 yards tonight. First down and 10 from the 49. Ravens into Lions territory. Blake throws out, has him again. Johnson down near the 40 to the 39. Close to another first down for Baltimore before finally Jeff Gooch is able to make the stop.
We're starting to exploit him a little bit because Ron Johnson figures to play a big part in this Ravens offense this year. Again, you got a lot of distance here. You're giving 8 yards, but that's okay because you're in this 3 deep zone. That's fine. Let him catch the ball, but come up and make a play. You can't have MTs. MTs kill you. Nice hustle by Gooch. His linebacker position, not quitting on the play and coming up and securing the tackle.
And they'll measure to see whether or not Johnson got the full 10 yards. It's very close. They're down around the 39-yard line. Blake so far 5 out of 8 for 46 yards since coming into the game.
One thing I noticed, just a quick comparison, if you're a Ravens fan out there, the difference between Blake and Redmond, although Redmond is the slated starter, one thing Jeff can do is make those reads and deliver that ball a little bit quicker, which will come with Chris Redmond. But right now, Jeff Blake understands this offense, so probably a little bit quicker than Brian Billick started. He will make a push for the starting job before the year's up.
If you're Brian Billick, the question is, are you playing for the future or are you playing for now? And it would seem to me when you have Ray Lewis and Peter Bulwer on your defense and Michael McCrary, you might want to play for right now.
And don't forget they have their big stud tailback coming back off the ACL and Jamal Lewis.
Very interesting to see how they play that. But Brian Billick will make his own decision. He has no problem telling you. He's the most arrogant man in the National Football League.
Or confident, however you want to look at it.
All right, 2nd down and 1. Damian Hunter, the lone setback behind Blake. Blake's got to roll out. He's got some room to run, and he's got the first down. Inside the 35, down to the 33. Pickup of 7. They'll move the chains again. Jeff Gooch coming up to make the stop for Detroit. Well, folks, do you want to see the new home of the Detroit Lions? Then don't miss Impact at Ford Field on Thursday, September 5th. A benefit for the Children's Center. Impact at Ford Field will feature spectacular entertainment and special guest stars, including Gladys Knight, Deborah Gibson. Tickets are $25 through Ticketmaster. Visit www.impactatfordfield.com for more information. First down and 10 for the Ravens. Blake looking deep, got Johnson out there. Johnson stretches but can't get it. He had Chidi Awama beat, but in the end, that football was overthrown.
And one thing Ron Johnson is not, he's not a blazer. Even though he beat Chidi Awama on that play, he doesn't have great speed. Jeff Blake's used to throwing the deep ball to guys with great speed. That will come with timing. Ron Johnson is a very, very physical receiver. Not a great burner, but he does a nice job of beating Chidi Iwama after the line of scrimmage. Jeff Blake lays one out there, and that's a timing thing. That'll come as the regular season comes along, that ball will be caught once they keep working together. Both of them new to the Ravens system.
You can bet after all the two-a-days, Ron Johnson probably doesn't have a spring in his legs at this point either. Blake facing a blitz, again looking deep, throwing left side of the field. Hunter out there, contact, no flag. Coverage provided on the play by Krantz Clemens, and this crowd wanted a flag. They're not going to get it. The Lions come up with a big play because once the blitz came and he had time, at that point you're one-on-one out there with those receivers.
One-on-one, and Krantz Clemens does a nice job of incidental contact. I don't know what these people are all yelling at. Sit down. You don't know what you're talking about. He's not doing anything. The guy fell over his feet. Once again, the official is correct. The whole 80,000 Raven fans are wrong. I'm going to say that in the press box. I said you said it, Dan, by the way, because I'm getting some evil looks back here.
That's exactly right. Somebody's going to spike my crab cake. 3rd down and 10 now. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Blake. And it looks like there's a problem with the clock, and the officials are going to have to sort it out.
Offense. 5 yards penalty. Still 3rd down.
And you heard it there from the referee, Terry McCauley, delay of game against Baltimore. That'll back the Ravens up. It'll be 3rd and 15.
That happens off of a call that you felt you should have got as a team. You're sitting there worrying about the call instead of getting the play in and getting the guys up to the line of scrimmage to run the play.
So 3rd and 15 now. Derek Homer, the setback behind Blake. Lonnie Mitchell is checked into the game. 3 receivers for Baltimore. Lions will try to bring some pressure here. They get it out to Mitchell. Mitchell stretches for the 30, gets down to about the 29. He'll still be 5 yards short of a first down. Pickup of 9, maybe 10. Andre Goodman makes the stop.
Design play, 3-step drop, and while they're doing this, they don't want to pick up the first down necessarily. If they can make the guy miss and get a first down, that's a bonus. But what you want to do is put yourself in field goal position, a realistic field goal position. They've done that with a 48-yarder coming up.
Well, J.R. Jenkins already has a 47-yarder tonight. He'll try this one from about 48. Kick is away, another line drive kick. This time he does not get the benefit of the bounce off the goalpost, and it's no good. He has not had pretty kicks either time, but he's 1 out of 2, and we are still tied at 6 with 12:24 to go in the 4th quarter. Is somebody going to find the end zone tonight, Chris? We'll find out when we come back. Ford flashback, August 20th, 1996. Lions Vice Chairman William Clay Ford Jr. announces plans to build a new stadium in downtown Detroit. Stadium, of course, to be called Ford Field. It's been 38 years since the Lions have played in downtown Detroit. And that first game coming up August 24th, and we will have it for you. Looking forward to being down there, Chris. It should be absolutely gorgeous. 1st down and 10 now for Joey Harrington. Play action fake, nobody's buying, and down goes Harrington. That'll be a loss of about 5, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. Nathan Bowling again in providing the pressure. 7th sack of the night for Baltimore.
Good job by Nathan Bowling. What he's got to do is get back to the huddle and not worry about a sack celebration dance. Do your job. Then the second job is, I'm all for playing with emotion, but, you know, look to give your teammates some high fives. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Put the camera on me, baby. 1, 2, 3 me. No, it's 1, 2, 3 team.
It took 2 hours and 38 minutes for you to get on that rant, and I've been waiting for it. It won't be the last time we hear it, but I got to tell you, I agree with you. Avion Cason gets the call over the right side, gets back near the original line of scrimmage. Let's swing it down to the sidelines now. Robert Bailey standing down there with James Stewart. Robert.
What's your assessment of the first half?
You know, we're going through the motions. I think, you know, everybody's trying to feel themselves out, trying to see, you know, how they're going to do out here against an opponent. And so, I mean, I think we're doing all right, but, I mean, there's some things that we definitely got to work on.
How do you think you played personally?
I mean, you know, I need to shake off the rust, come out here, and, you know, I did all right, but, you know, just coming out here and getting a few plays, you know, I need to shake off the rust. But next week I'll get probably more plays, and I'll, you know, be ready to go.
Thank you very much, James. Back to you, Dan.
All right, Robert Bailey, James Stewart, you saw down there the Lions on 3rd down and 11. Joey Harrington incomplete, but a flag down, and it looks like it's going to be pass interference. Thank you.
Defense, number 47. Automatic first down.
Call against Will Demps, so the Lions get a break right there, and their drive stays alive.
It's a good job by Joey of hanging in the pocket, understanding the fact that he's going to get hit. And he did get hit by Bart Scott, but he didn't go down. He's a tough guy. There's Marty. Marty says, I'm giving you a chance, Joey. Let me see what you have.
Chris, this is just a preseason game, but we've talked early on about how important a victory might be to the Lions just to get something positive after a 2-14 season. And it would also give Joey Harrington something to walk out of here and hold his head high about as well. As he throws on first down out there to Jonas Lewis, another flag down as Lewis struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. As we wait for the call from the official, not to overstate what it would be, but you need everything positive you can possibly get when you're coming off the type of season this team had last year.
We talked to Marty Morning. We're going to ask him that exact question last night. And he said, look, there's certain things you want to get done in preseason, certain plays you want to look at.
Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
But our number one goal, number one priority, anytime you cross the lines, you cross them to win the football game. When you're 2-14, something good has to happen. And there's no better feeling that this team can get tonight than walk in that locker room after the game with a victory on the road after going 2-14.
Marcel Howard was called for the hold. That'll make it first down and 20 now. Pierre Brown is checked in for the Lions, one of the wide receiver spots. Also, Eddie Drummond is out there. Jonas Lewis, one of the setbacks behind Joey Harrington. Harrington on first and 20. Has some time, looks, throws it out there, intended for Eddie Drummond, knocked away. Good defensive play for the Ravens out there.
Well, two things on this. The one thing you want to do, first of all, Eddie Drummond will learn this, is that NFL corners have great makeup speed. So when a ball is thrown and you're doing a curl, you want to come back to this football. You don't want to hook it up. You want to come back toward the quarterback. Now, from Joey Harrington's point of view, when he sees a guy on his buddy's back, he wants to deliver that ball low. So if that guy comes over the top, the only play he can make is over his back and possibly get in an interference.
4 receivers in the game now for the Lions on second down and 20 from their own 28. Game tied at 6, just over 10.5 minutes to go. Harrington down the field looking for Drummond. Incomplete, threw it a bit behind him. That'll bring up third down and 20. Will Demps out there in coverage for Baltimore.
All right, you'd like to see him take shots downfield. It's not a bad ball. You see here, he sees what he sees. He throws it behind him, but trying to force that in there because I look at that and I see, wait a second, I see 1 white jersey, I see 3 purple jerseys. Maybe I had another option somewhere else. He might have been locked in on Eddie Drummond right there. A little too long.
Once again, the Lions will go with 4 receivers. They need a big play right here. It's third down and 20. Harrington with a straight drop. Has some time. Throws it out to Avion Cason. Cason spins out of 1 tackle. Gets up near the 40-yard line. He'll still be a good 7 yards short of a first down. Gain of 12. The Lions will have to punt it away. Lamont Brightful coming up to make the stop.
So what you're talking about is recognition. That time the Baltimore Ravens were playing a deep cover 2 where the middle linebacker almost takes off and runs down the middle of the field. That check down will be there all day, but it's when 3rd and 20 doesn't do you much good when you get 3rd and 12 except a better position to punt the football.
Aaron Edmonds in to punt the football for Detroit. Tellis Redmond is deep for Baltimore. Edmonds gets a foot into it. Redmond calls fair catch and takes it at about his 30, a 31-yard punt. And with 9:49 to go here in the ball game, the Lions and Ravens are tied at 6. We're coming right back with more after this, so stay with us. Dan Miller and Chris Spielman back at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. Ravens and Lions tied at 6. And I understand we may still have some children watching, and I don't want to scare anybody, Chris, but we're staring preseason overtime square in the eyes. And I don't know if there's anything worse than that in the National Football League.
Yeah, you got an opportunity, man. I mean, I love football as much as the other guy. Let's play all night.
Let's see if somebody can make a play right here. See if somebody can come up with a big defensive play for the Lions. Jeff Blake at quarterback trying to make something happen for the Ravens. Not much there in the running games. The Lions do a good job of stacking it up. Abdul Howard coming up from his safety spot. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 after a gain of 2.
You know, one thing I like about Kurt Schottenheimer's defense tonight, and it's going to be key to the success of the Lions defense this season. Those safeties are important players in stopping the run. So far, all of them that have been in the game have done a good job in executing that assignment.
Derek Homer is the deep back behind Jeff Blake. 2 receivers in the game, one to the right, one to the left. That's Himes to the top of your screen, Javen Hunter to the bottom. Blake looking out there, throwing, incomplete, knocked away. Randy Himes had it and lost it. Nice defensive play by Chidi Awama.
Chidi Awama does a nice job. Jeff Blake delivers a strike, but Chidi Awama does not panic, and what he does, he reaches around and rips the arms of the wide receiver and makes a good play. See him rip that arm out of there. That's it, Chidi. It's a good job of not getting interference too, because he was beat inside. Didn't quit on the play.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now for Baltimore. 3 receivers in the game for the Ravens. They need a big play right here to keep their drive alive. Lions looking for a stop. Blake back, has time, throws, right side is complete, and that's enough for a 1st down. They'll move the chains. Nice catch by Javen Hunter. Gain of 13. Chidi Awama makes the stop.
Well, if you give Jeff Blake this kind of protection, have a 4-man rush telling me they're playing a zone defense, he's going to make you pay. Again, the presence of being able to step up into the pocket and deliver the outside, which does take a strong arm.
Never been a question about Blake's arm. He can throw the out, and he can throw it deep. Blake so far tonight, 7 out of 13 for 69 yards. 1st and 10 now from their own 46. Blake again looks to the out, throws it out there complete to Himes. Himes knocked out of bounds by Awama, but not before they pick up about 7 more. It'll be 2nd down and 3. We asked you earlier which offseason acquisition would prove most beneficial to the Lions. Hakeem, Bill Schrader, 59.1%.
Well, I could go with that. Got to get Hakeem healthy. The one I would throw in there is probably Kurt Schottenheimer, especially after we witnessed tonight. That would be considered an off-season acquisition, wouldn't it?
Kurt Schottenheimer, of course, the team's new defensive coordinator. Flag down as Damian Hunter tries the left side of the line, doesn't find much there. The officials will sort it out. Ken Philpott again stepping up to make a nice defensive play for the Lions, and he's had a good night.
He's done well for himself, and again, young linebackers were opportunity to play.
Holding offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
And that'll cost the Ravens right there, 10 yards. Jason Thomas is caught with a hold.
You know,
8 penalties tonight for Baltimore for 50 yards.
You know, this is surprising. Right here you'll see Jason Thomas hold, but you wonder if the officials get together, because it usually a run up the middle, everything goes. Unless it's really blatant. You rarely see holding calls on especially isolation plays up the middle on eye backs.
Well, that one cost Baltimore, and it's now 2nd down and 13. Backs are split behind Blake, 1 receiver left and 1 right. Again, Blake's going to throw here. Looks, has time. Now he's going to run out of the pocket, and Blake down near midfield, stopped at about the 47. Chidi Awama coming up to make the tackle, but not before Blake can pick up 4. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
While Blake was able to pick up 4, I'll tell you why. Jonathan Taylor's playing a defensive end, has a contained rush. That time he tried to make a quick move inside the big offensive tackle for the Ravens. Threw him inside, giving Jeff Blake the corner. Right here, see? Jonathan Taylor right there. You can't be on the ground and be a football player. Jeff Blake recognized that. Get as many yards as you can to put yourself in a manageable 3rd down.
3 receivers in the game now on 3rd down and 8 from their own 48. Blake straight drop, pressure's coming. He gets away from it. Blake looking deep, throwing out there for Lonnie Mitchell. Mitchell at the goal line, can't come up with a football. Oh my, was he open too, but Blake again overthrew a receiver who looked like he had a touchdown if he could get the football there. Chidi Awama in coverage. I think what we're looking at too, maybe these guys aren't the biggest burners in the world, Chris, but I think we see some tired legs out there because he looked like he was running in mud.
I agree, and Jeff Blake again beating Jonathan Taylor, who does a nice job of hustling coming back. He's got to be able to make this play. At least get a hand. I think that's, you know, again, that's a timing thing, and Jeff Blake will time up with these receivers. but not a real burner out there. And you have to be able to lead the guy and throw where only he can catch it. Maybe, just to me, it's preseason and not getting the timing down with the receivers.
Well, Chidiawama being helped off the field. That's what we have for a little delay here. The Lions are going to get the football back. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. We have 6:35 to go. Avion Kason standing down around his 10. And we will get you a report on Chidiawama just as soon as we can. He played a little bit during the regular season last year, and the Lions would love to see him step up. Good pressure on the punter, but he gets it away. Kason's going to field it. Nope, he's going to let it go. Bounces it around the 3, and it's going to bounce into the end zone. Lions will take over at their own 20. So a heads-up play there by Avion Kason, a 52-yard punt. And the Lions will take over 80 yards between them and the end zone. This game is tied at 6. 6:24 to go here in Baltimore. Chris Spielman, it is that time, my friend. We need another key adjustment.
Key adjustments to me is that man right there, Kurt Schottenheimer, bringing an aggressive defense. We heard Robert Bourget talk about how much fun it is to play defense because he's letting the boys pin their ears back and come after the quarterback and be aggressive, and he's keeping it simple.
Well, right now the thing the Lions need is offense as Avion Kason takes the handoff, fights his way. Nice battling out there, gets to the 25-yard line, pick up a 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Amari Jordan makes the stop for the Ravens, but that was some good, strong running by Avion Kason.
Yeah, the rookie out of New Mexico linebacker Gary Davis had a shot at him in the backfield, but if you want to be a productive NFL back, you have to be able to make people miss. Right there, Avion Kason made Davis miss and picked up a nice game.
For the first time tonight, we've seen number 38, James Mungro, out of Syracuse. He's in the backfield. Split back there with Stephen Trejo. And that's Trejo receiving the football to the 25, to the 30, gets the first down. So the Lions will move the chains, finally knocked down at the 32. Chidiawama left the field just a couple of minutes ago. Let's go down to Robert Bailey and get an update on his condition, Robert.
Well, Chidiawama walked off the field with a limp. The update is he tweaked his hamstring and probably won't be back for the rest of the game, but they are going to look at it.
Okay, Robert, thank you very much. Robert Bailey, former Lions quarterback, down on the sidelines, also a cornerback with the Baltimore Ravens when they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
It's a tweak like a twinge, Dan?
I think a tweak would be right on par with a twinge, but neither one is equal to a pull.
Okay, that's good news.
I don't think you hear a pop when you tweak.
Nope.
Harrington incomplete pass there on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now. Lions on their own 32-yard line. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this game, which is just screaming for somebody to make a big play and get into the end zone. Otherwise, I can tell you the folks back at the shop are going to have a tough time pulling highlights out of this one.
I want to see this offense throw the ball downfield a little bit now. You've gotten his short passes in. You've gotten his confidence up. Let him open it up down there, Marty.
All right, let's see what Joey Harrington has here on 2nd down. Wants to throw, gets it out there, looking for LeBron Mitchell, but it's knocked away. Nice defensive play by the Ravens' Jason Olford. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Jason Olford, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech, does a nice job of avoiding contact and getting that big, large hand over the top and knocking the ball down.
The Lions will make some adjustments here. Avion Kason comes on, 3rd down and long.
Avion Kason's making a bid for that 3rd down back, which is an important part of Marty Morningwig's offense. A guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield and do blitz pickup.
3 receivers in the game for the Lions now. Backs are split behind Harrington. Harrington drops, throws out there, had Drummond, incomplete, threw it behind him, almost intercepted by Josh Robinson. So that was a throw that Harrington could have picked up some yardage on, but he threw it behind Drummond, and the Lions will now have to punt it away.
Well, Drummond does a nice job of getting open in the routes there. He's open right now, and Joey's got to deliver that ball and put it on the outside so only Eddie Drummond can minute. It's tough to be running across the field, stop, and come all the way back across your body. He has time to throw. That's a throw he needs to make and complete.
Harrington tonight 8 out of 15 for 71 yards. As you get a look there at Aaron Edmonds, who's set to punt it away for Detroit, does. Tellis Redmond down around his 27, calls for a fair catch. He'll take it right there. Ravens will take it there as well. In a 6-6 game, they've got the ball back with a chance to do something. after a 39-yard punt. Back in Baltimore, coming down the stretch of the first preseason game for both the Ravens and the Lions. We are tied at 6. 5 minutes and 4 seconds left to play. Ravens have it. We have a new quarterback in the game for Baltimore. Ravens offense now being led by Wes Pate. Comes on for Jeff Blake. Of course, Chris Redmond started. Third-year man out of Louisville that they expect to be the starting quarterback for this team. Pate, third-teamer, trying to get something done right here. Give on first down across the left side into the open field. Nice run out there by Derek Homer. Homer near the first down marker. Looks like he got it. That'll be a first down pickup on the play. About 11 yards.
See Chris Schottenheimer down there getting on Krantz Clemens, because Krantz Clemens is responsible for contain. He's getting handled out there by a big tight end. Krantz has got to get off that block and force that ball to cut back inside. Your help's inside. You cannot give up the outside. Rookie mistake.
Looked like Johnny Burrow might have had a hold of some jersey right there as well. First down and 10 for the Ravens at their own 42. Again, it's Homer getting the call. Not much there. Flag down on the play. Once again, we'll wait for the referee to tell us what's going on. It's going to be against the Ravens. So that'll back them up.
Take a look at it inside.
Offense. Number 60, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Wayne Rogers you'll see come in and get good penetration for a linebacker. He's going to fill the hole right there and watch the tackle. See? Look at that. They tackled him, got his arm hooked. Good job by Wayne Rogers filling that hole, taking his gap away. Can't handle those linebackers, can you?
9 penalties now for 60 yards. You love it when a linebacker can't be handled.
Well, they get held every play. They just don't call it every play.
How many more tackles would you have been if they called it all the time?
I don't know. I made too many head tackles. Oh!
Mix up on the snap. Ball is loose. Ravens fall on top of it. Jason Thomas is able to grab it back. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we are going to name our player of the game between the Ravens and the Lions. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but I would say right now that it's one of those rare occasions where a kicker may have the upper leg in this competition.
Right now he has the upper leg. And again, a bad quarterback exchange between center and quarterback for the Ravens. Brian Billick's attention to detail. I see his hands are on his hips. Now, when a coach's hands are on his hips, that doesn't mean he's tired. That means he's mad. There's a difference.
Good point by you. Wes Pate's going to try to handle this snap. He does, and he's going to throw. On second down and 21. Pate looks deep, then brings it back and throws it. It's complete out there to number 87, Lonnie Mitchell, although I don't know if Mitchell was the intended receiver. Gracie Walker makes the stop for Detroit. Pick up from 15. It'll be third down and 5. It looked to me, Chris, like he might have been throwing it to the short man.
Yeah, he kind of delivered it, and I don't know who he's throwing it to. I don't know if he knows who he's throwing it to. But nevertheless, it's a nice completion for the rookie out of Stephen F. Austin.
Goes down as a 16-yard gain. 3rd and 5 from the 47 now. 3 receivers in the game for Baltimore. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Derek Homer behind Pate. He's going to get the pitch. It's Homer trying the right side. Stopped short of the first down marker. Nice play by Bill Duff of the Lions. And the Ravens will have to kick it back. So with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this game, the Lions come up with a big stop.
Chris Cash does a nice job from his corner. You see him sneak in there and take a leg, and Bill Duff hustling from his defensive tackle position. Reading the pulling guard, getting out there and converging from the inside. Chris Cash forcing the ball to cut back inside to his help.
So once again, the Ravens will punt it away. Avion Cason back deep for Detroit. Cason lined up at his 10, moves up to his 15, and that's going to be a flag right there. It's got to be, doesn't it? No flags down on the field. Are you kidding me? Am I missing something here, Chris Spielman? He got nailed before he had a chance to touch the football.
The only thing I can think of is that he's blocked into the man.
The Lions, the end product of this is the Lions are going to be backed up around the 1-yard line.
We need to, somebody give him an explanation, because I don't see it and I don't understand it. Here we go.
Well, I don't get that. But whatever it is, there's no penalty on the play. Avion Quezon never had a chance to field that punt. Joey Harrington now is staring at 99 yards between him and the end zone with 2:34 to play in this football game.
It's a big series for Joey Harrington, at least to get the ball out, because if they don't, then Baltimore has field position.
James Mungro and Stephen Trejo behind Harrington on first down. Harrington will throw from his own end zone. Gets it out there, completes it, and a nice catch out there by Kevin McKenzie. Will Demps makes the stop. The Lions at least get a little bit of breathing room after a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
That's a good call by Marty to get some breathing room instead of trying to stuff it up there against the run. You roll Joey out, give him the run pass option just to buy yourself some real estate.
Moving down towards the 2-minute warning here. Lions will get this play off. Harrington again to throw from his own end zone. Throws down the middle of the field. It's picked off. Going the other way and going in for the touchdown. Will Demps, a big play for Baltimore. And a turnover for the Lions. They're going to trail in this game 13-6.
Well, they run the play action. They suck the linebackers up, but Joey Harrington's looking at his big tight end the whole time. Will Demps sees Joey Harrington's eyes. Is just out there waiting, say, please throw the ball, please throw the ball. Does a nice job of breaking in front of the wide receiver, turning into the running back, and creating points off turnovers for the Baltimore Ravens.
Matt Murphy was out there, but so too were 3 defenders, including Will Demps. The extra point is no good, so I jumped the gun on the 13-6 lead. And once again, we have seen J.R. Jenkins, who apparently is the king of the line drive place kickers.
Either that, he's mad at the tuber player down there, and he tried to take one out.
I have no idea. All I know is he's got 1 field goal tonight, but 3 kicks that haven't gone more than 4 feet off the ground. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
Detroit Lions football has been brought to you by your Metro Detroit Ford dealers. Think Ford first. By America Online. So easy to use. No wonder it's #1. By Comerica Bank. We listen, we understand, we make it work. By Pepsi. The joy of Pepsi. By Ford Motor Company. Ford. No boundaries. And by National City Bank and its 30,000 employees who care about doing what's right for you.
And 1:55 to go here in Baltimore. J.R. Jenkins to kick off. Avion Quezon deep for the Lions, who now trail by 6 in this one. Quezon back to the 15, to the 20. He's got room out to the 29-yard line. Taken down there, and that's where the Lions will take over, trailing in this one by 6. Gary Davis making the stop for the Ravens. 19 yards on the return. Joey Harrington will come back on the field. Lions still with a chance to make something happen right here.
Joey Harrington has a chance to make something happen. He knows he made a bad read. Marty was right there with him, coaching him up, not panicking, just coaching him, and give Joey a chance to operate with less than 2 minutes to go to try to move this team down the field to victory.
4 receivers in the game for the Lions now. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Avion Quezon is behind Joey Harrington. Drummond in motion. Harrington under pressure. Throws the screens. Got it set up well. Quezon out to the 40, to the 45. Quezon down across midfield. Inside the 40. Flag is down as Quezon goes down at the 33 of Baltimore. Josh Robinson finally makes the stop, but not before the Lions pick up 37. The Lions with a well-executed screen right there.
I'll tell you, this is a bad call coming up.
Offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty, first down.
This is a bad call coming up. I'm going to tell you why. Because his hands are inside and he's doing a good job. Now this is a great job by Pierre Brown right there getting his block. His hands are inside. That guy's a non-factor. That's a bad call. If I'm a receivers coach for the Detroit Lions, I say, well done, Pierre. You're blocking downfield, making something happen.
Hands are inside, it's not holding.
Yeah, you hear that?
There you go.
I'm not reading anybody's mind down there. That's just the rule.
Somebody down on the sidelines agrees with Chris Spielman. Cost the Lions 10, but they still have great field position. 1st and 10 from the 44 of Baltimore. Nice move by James Mungro, who gets down inside the 45, down to the 44. He turned a loss into a gain, picks up 1, maybe 2. It's going to be 2nd down and long. Jason Olford making the stop for the Ravens.
Not only a good move, Dan, to avoid being tackled, but also having the awareness to get out of bounds to stop the clock. James Monroe, an explosive backup in Syracuse, does a good job of securing a catch, makes the move and says, look, I got to get to the sidelines. Even though I'm a rookie, I know where I need to be to stop the clock, and that's out of bounds.
2nd down and 9 now. 1:32 to play in this game. Harrington with 2 receivers and 2 backs. Straight drop. Harrington running out of time and going down. Wrapped up on the play by J.R. Johnson. And with 1:23 to go, the Lions are going to be facing a 3rd down and long, and they call a timeout to talk about it.
Joey's got to get off this tight end right now. He's looking for that tight end in cover 2 a little bit too much. The safety's sitting on it. What I would do if I were Joey Harrington, I would stare that tight end down, and I'd tell Marty Morningwig, look, that corner out there in cover 2 is sitting in the flat. Send him on a takeoff, look the tight end, then hit the guy in the receiver for the winning touchdown. We can all get out of here and go home a winner.
There you go. 13-12 would have a nice ring to it at this point. 1:23 to go. Heck, you obviously have somebody that agrees with you down there on the penalty.
Oh, they know what they're talking about. I lived up there for 8 years. I know what those guys are thinking.
Let's see if somebody agrees with you on the next play call.
I wore that silver helmet for a long time. First of all, these referees are doing an experiment on holding calls tonight. I've never seen so many holding calls. And that one was a poor call. And again, Pierre Brown, nice job. Your hands are inside. You're doing a job making a play, young man.
Joey Harrington's got the play, comes back to the huddle. He'll relay it to his teammates, and the Lions will try to make something happen on 3rd down and 11. LeBron Mitchell wide to the right side. Kevin McKenzie in the slot. 2 backs in behind Harrington. That's McKenzie now in motion. 3rd down and 11. Lions trying to keep the drive alive. Quick drop throws out there. Got it complete to Mitchell. Short of a 1st down inside the 40. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 5.
It's a nice adjustment by Mitchell and a good throw by Harrington. Now, at first look, it looks like he threw the ball behind, but he threw the ball behind on purpose because the safety had a great break on the ball. Joey threw the ball only where Mitchell could make the catch.
And that's going to bring up 4th down now. The Lions down to this. 1 timeout remaining. 6 yards to go to move the chains. And you would have to expect that if they don't get this done right here, barring any kind of miracle, this ball game would be over.
And they got about a 95% chance that Baltimore's going to blitz on this down, force a quick throw, and a quick decision by the rookie quarterback.
Harrington talks it over with Marty Morningwig.
That's what Marty's saying. Watch the blitz. Know where your reads are.
So here we go. The Lions trailing by 6, 12-6. Minute 14 to play in this game. Joey Harrington trying to come up with a big 3rd down play, and this is first National Football League game. 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. What's left of this crowd making noise. Harrington from the 40, straight drop, looks left, throws out there, has Brown, but it's knocked away. A big defensive play for the Ravens by Jason Olford. Pierre Brown had gotten some distance between himself and the defender, but in the end, Olford made a nice defensive play for Baltimore.
Yeah, Jason Olford does a nice job. He's in the cover 2, and he's getting deep as the deepest. He has the safety beat. Joey's got to put some air under the ball. Both quarterbacks tonight in cover 2 had the guy open down the field, and both of them tried to line drive it. They both could have put air on it for big plays. Scotty Anderson had a corner beat in the 1st half. Pierre had a corner beat right there. Joey underthrew him. Mike McMahon underthrew him.
So now leading 12-6, and the Lions only having 1 timeout left. Baltimore should be able to just run the clock out and end this ball game. Wes Pate still the quarterback, down to a knee. And with 103, 102, 101, less than a minute to go in the game, the Lions will just let the clock run out. Our player of the game right there, Jason Hansen. Did all the scoring for the Lions tonight. A pair of field goals, 1 from 42 yards, 1 from 53 yards. This the 53-yarder.
What a great weapon to have on your football team. Really a great character guy. Although I got to get on him, that goatee and Jason Hansen don't go together. I never seen a kicker try to look tough, Dan.
You don't think it makes him look a little meaner?
Next thing I know, next week he'll be wearing a neck roll.
You don't think if somebody's breaking free on a kickoff return and they see him coming at him with that goatee, it might just worry him a little bit?
Right? He looks like Scotty Hamilton to me, this figure skater. But that's me. Jason's great. He's a great guy and a great player.
Somehow I think that's going to make it back to him there, Chris Spielman.
No, that's Jace. He and I go have a history.
All right, that's going to do it. The Detroit Lions fall tonight by a score of 12-6. The Ravens win it. Were there questions answered this evening? That's one thing that we'll talk about when we come back. Stay with us. Dan Miller and Chris Spielman back in Baltimore. Lions lose tonight by a score of 12-6 to the Ravens. Questions weren't going to necessarily be answered in total tonight, Chris, but what did the Lions find out about their football team?
I think the one thing you see an aggressive defense and a defense that wants to get after people and create turnovers. Offensively, any questions the quarterback answered? No. Improvement? Yes.
All right, so the Lions fall by a score of 12-6. Next Saturday night, we will be in Cleveland as the Lions take on the Browns. We look forward to seeing you then. For Chris Spielman and the rest of our broadcast team, that'll do it. Good night, everybody.
You're getting hungry. Very hungry.
These are our 100% recyclable containers.
Sorry. At Steak and Shake, we're open from sunrise to sunrise.
To money, but I mean money. Did you work it out where you're fighting them again?
Well,
you can tell.
Tiger on the tee at 14.
Having a slash at it.
Showing off his power. Part of his best round since last year.
Down and dirty, the role of smear campaigns in West Michigan politics this election season.
I seen the fire department run the baby to the, ambulance.
This is a great approach. That's Perez to Perez. Team.
Diving catch, shoestring catch, and then the runner was moving.
The swing was starting to come together. I was starting to roll the ball well, and I was making progress.
The next game will be tomorrow afternoon on KTVI. Sean Estes will go for the New York Mets. Disappointing news as well is the fact that Garrett Stevenson, his next start will be in Memphis and not here with the big club. It'll be Luther Hackman tomorrow. For Al, I'm Dan. Let's send it back to the studio.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it as always. Bennis, we talked about the good outing. Went 5 innings, so that means 4 more innings out of the bullpen again tonight. Tomorrow night, Hackman's probably going to go 3 or 4, and it's probably going to be a bullpen by committee type of thing. So, and not only are they're staggering, but they're a little bit battered too physically.
Well, they have lost 7 of 8, and indeed, pennant race baseball is here, whether you like it or not, as a Cardinals fan. Well, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 34, the Rams and the Titans. Only problem is you can't attach much meaning to this one. It's only the first exhibition game, and the big boys won't see much time. Some won't see any. Nevertheless, football returns for St. Louis fans, and as Howard Balzer reports, there are plenty of things to look for tomorrow night in Nashville as the U.S. Naval Reserve presents On Our Radar.
Former Rams coach Dick Vermeil used to say that preseason games might not count, but they definitely matter. And that's especially true for players trying to secure a spot on the opening day roster. Many young players will play a lot Saturday night, including wide receiver Dane Looker, MVP of the NFL Europe title game, which was played only 7 weeks ago.
I'm going to go out there, and it does feel like I just played in the World Bowl. I guess it wasn't much more than a month and a half ago, but it's going to go out there and play hard. It's cliche, but it's a guy in my position. You got to go out there and play as hard as you can. For the limited amount of reps or for the lot of reps you get.
Keep an eye on the second unit offensive lineman, most notably rookie left guard Travis Scott.
I am looking forward to it. I really am. It's time to go out and have some fun and knock some heads.
On defense, first-round pick Robert Thomas is just anxious to hit somebody.
Yeah, it definitely feel good, to go out there and hit some other color, it's, Tennessee Titans, whoever it may be, with Tennessee this week. So we're going to have fun with it, go out there, read our keys, and go out there and run around, hit heads.
Lastly, special teams coach Bobby April is anxious to see the team's new players compete.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till we play. I can't wait to watch that film because I can see it a little bit better. But I can't wait to see how we do on the returns and how we do on everything. I'm really looking forward to watching these new guys that we have.
For the Rams, this is but a first step in a journey they expect to lead to another Super Bowl. In Macomb with the Rams, I'm Howard Balzer for the Midwest Sports Report.
Thanks as always, Howard. Great work. Jackie Slater was one of the greatest offensive linemen in NFL history. He played 20 seasons for the Rams, was a Pro Bowler 7 times, and was elected into the Hall of Fame last year, his first year of eligibility. He's also a man who likes to stay busy with broadcasting and now is a special assistant for the Rams, helping the coaches while learning about what it takes to coach in the NFL.
It has been a blast. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would as much, going to all the meetings. And, I've done everything that the coaches are doing, and I've been in all the meetings, and I'm just learning from John Mashko and Jim Hannafin. And these guys are very good at what they do. The coaching profession can be fun, can be rewarding, but it has a lot of work.
Jackie's helped tremendously. He's got hands-on experience. He's done it. And he's got the little secrets that he really, just like today, I said, Jackie, now we're going on goal line offense, and there's great crowd noise. What'd you do? He said, John, peripherally, out of my eyes, I looked at the ball when the ball came up, and then I came off the football.
Well, that's the uniqueness of what I do bring to the table. Having played the game as long as I did, different things that, and sometimes we're on the same page. It's just me expressing it as a player as opposed to a coach's point of view. So, if I can somehow blend those two, it might make for an opportunity to be successful as a coach.
To the college game now. The last time we saw the Missouri Tiger football team.
Sophomore Ryan Grant becomes the team's most experienced back. He played in 5 games last season, gaining 110 yards on 29 carries. New coach Tyrone Willingham might be smarting from the news, but he wasn't just talking about the running back situation when he says he wants this team to be smart.
We want to be a smart team. We want to be a team that is very disciplined, and we want to be a team that has fun playing the game.